It's showtime, baby. Oh my God. Family Tree, let me know if you lot can hear me right now. I'm just going to have to check this because it seems as though I can hear a little feedback. I'm just doing a quick impromptu show. And this one here is entitled Bishop or Illiterate? Who was Muhammad? Let me know your thoughts. And this one here is meant to be an open panel discussion where you guys can actually come in and have your say because I've posted something in the group. Yeah, I posted something in the group. And in the group, sorry, in the community section, I asked the question like, how do you perceive Muhammad? Personally, I'll tell you how I perceive the historical Muhammad. And let me just quickly make the distinction, okay? Because some of us, we may be coming from the religious side of things, and I am not talking religion. So, in terms of your faith, whoever you believe Muhammad is, that's not what we're discussing today. We're discussing, history. Okay, history. That is what we're discussing. History. So, in terms of historicity, who do you say Muhammad was? Okay. I've done a deep dive into the subject of who the historical Muhammad was. Um, and I was just seeing, I've got some free time, I've got some energy, I'm having a nice little enjoyment. Mm. So I'm inviting you guys in to actually have a conversation on who do you think the historical Muhammad was. And again, I apologize to some of the family base out there who, are expecting something a little bit different. We're tired of this Muhammad stuff. And I hear you. I apologize. I will be making a channel very shortly, very, very shortly. And it will simply be all about my research and findings on the origins. The Islamic origins is actually called the Abyssinian origins of Islam. And in there, I'll have all my research on there discussing all these great topics. But for now, this is my little outlet that I'm doing. So, of course, as I said, I posted on my channel who based upon my research, you know, I have deduced that there is a historical Muhammad and there is also a legendary Muhammad. The legendary Muhammad is, of course, the one that everybody of the faith, knows or understands to be Muhammad. And that's the legendary that has never been verified throughout history. But I'm discussing the historical Muhammad, and that historical Muhammad is a 6th century Abyssinian bishop. So I wanted to know your thoughts. Like, who do you say Muhammad was? Come on in and actually have this conversation with me if you want. Um, and yeah, we can get it cracking. But if not, I know this is a completely impromptu, live stream, and most of you guys might be having a busy Saturday evening. But I'm just enjoying myself, so I thought let me just do something. What's good? Jeez. Yeah. Greetings to you. Let me know what's good. Okay, so let me actually do something. Let me do something. I had up Photoshop last time when I was doing a little um, something, something. So let's see if I can do that again. Bear with me once I see if I can pull up Photoshop. Doo-doo-doo. I can just write out my thoughts. So, new file. And yeah, why not? We can use that one. Create. Cool. Hmm. Let's put a solid color on this. Yeah, let me share my screen as well. But yeah, share my screen first and then we get a solid color up. So cool. There we go. So on here, I am going to be historical Muhammad. Historical Muhammad. Hmm. Is that what I wanted to be discussing? Let me just make sure I know what it is. Because again, I'm inviting you guys in. The link has been shared. So yeah, historical Muhammad. Let's start off with that. So let me write this up here. Okay. Historical Muhammad. Boom. Why is it not getting a bit bigger? So again, family, let me know if you lot are interested in getting involved so we can have this good conversation. Okay, because we are discussing the historical Muhammad. Let's put him up here. And again, I like doing these little lines. These little lines were kind of cute last time. Doo-doo. Yeah, family tree. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm here with you guys. Let me know. I'm not doing anything. Um, you know, I'm not doing anything but being here with you guys and giving you guys the opportunity to come in. So, um, Callum says that the historical Muhammad is a bishop. Let's write that down. Furthermore, I say he's an archbishop. Archbishop. Cool. And then I also say, not only being an archbishop, he was an apostle. Cool. So he was an archbishop and an apostle. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Talk to me, family. So I'm saying that the historical Muhammad was an archbishop and an apostle that was sent. Do you know what I like? I was reading this actually. See if I could bring this up. Did the history of Muhammad write? Of course he wrote. Of course, every person would have wrote. Every bishop had little writings. Um, Share screen. Let's see. Every nation. There we go. I like this. And for every nation, there is a messenger. And another one. And verily, we have sent among every ummah a messenger. Yeah. So Quran 10 verse 47. You lot can see that up there. Let's go to the actual Quran itself, though. Um, let's go. Let's go to the actual Quran. Do 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 do. Let's share this tab. But yeah, talk to me, family, in here, because this is just me doing a little something, something. And for every ummah, which is a nation, a rasul is sent. So when comes the messenger, it will be judged between them. So we have it in chapter 10, verse 47, as well as in 1636. So let's go to 1636 right now. And that's Surah Al-Nahl, which is the bees. And go there. And it says here, and certainly we sent. Ah, we sent. Ah, okay. I never knew that was how it was spelled. Thought it was bad. I know it's the Ba'ath. Okay, yeah. We sent into every, wow, into every nation a Rasul, saying that you should worship Allah and avoid falsehood. Wow. Okay, cool. So we see that, in every nation, a Rasul was sent. Hmm. So, a rasul is an apostle. So, if an apostle is being sent, did the historical Muhammad write the Quran? Um, I would say that the historical Muhammad would have authored, um, not the Quran that we have today, but he would have authored, he would have had his own personal writings. And then after he had passed away, these writings would have been posthumously collected and drafted and written up in some form to be read out inside of his congregation. Okay. And that's what would have happened. But then later on, with inside of the whole story, no, not in the story, you now have like saint worship, so to speak, or yeah, saint worship, apostle cults. I don't mean like in like literal worship, but you start to revere and venerate an individual. So what would happen is after reading it, they've compiled it, they've read it out, and then others have taken it for political reasons to, gather a crowd around them to say, yeah, this is our, cultural hero, our saint. So, for example, over here we have Saint George, the flag, the banner, yeah, yeah, everybody now, Tommy Robinson's gang is all rallying around St. George's flag and putting it up. So it's the same type of principle that people later on co-opt it for their own personal and political and even profitable gains as well. So that's kind of what happened with the Quran itself. It's just homiletic works or homiletic writings that was just taken over to create, um, something a bit different. But anyways, where was I going? So we have that. I'm going to add an extra something, isn't it? That was it. So we know that apostles are sent to every nation. So share screen. What nation was he sent to? Okay. What nation was this apostle sent to? And of course, it is, some people call it the Himyarite nation, um, but I like to call it uh, the Abyssinian nation. And the reason why I choose to say Abyssinian is because Abraha was not a um, a Himyarite. Okay, he was ruling over the Himyarites and the Abyssinians, but he was an Arabs, but he himself was not a Himyarite. So I don't like that. I think that's a misnomer to call it the Himyaritic kingdom or the Himyaritic empire. So we're going to call it the Abyssinia. So I love it. All the A's. So there was an archbishop that was sent as an apostle to Abyssinia for every nation. If we're reading the Quran, the author of the Quran says, to every nation a rasul, an apostle or a messenger is sent. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Where do you think that teaching comes from? That every nation is sent a messenger. Let's see if any of you guys know this. Where do you get this from? Hint, it's not in the Old Testament. Nowhere you'll find that in the Old Testament. Because the Old Testament is only concerned with what? It's only concerned with the Israelites. It's only concerned with Israelite prophets and messengers rather than, the Goyim, the nations, the Gentiles. So nobody cares about that. I'll actually give it to you. Since nobody wants to come in, this is wild work. None of you want to come in. The link is literally there, and now I'm feeling like I'm talking to myself. So, the history of the. Let's quickly do this first, and then we'll get onto that question. So, we will go to the King James version of the Bible, KJV. And I believe it's in Matthew, right at the end. Matthew 28. Let's tab. Matthew 28. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and it says here. The Great Commission. Oh, I'll go to X as well to see what that says. And then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. Okay, interesting. So that's where you get the whole Great Commission of apostles being sent out uh, to go into all the nations. Let me see. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me just make sure I've gone to the right thing. Okay. Acts 1 6 to 8 it says here, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons. Okay, cool. But you shall receive power after the Holy Ghost come upon you, and witness unto okay, to witness, okay, to Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria and unto the uppermost part of the earth. Okay, cool. So it's the same thing basically. So going into all the nations, that was just basically one of those things. Oh, we've got Jose up in the building. All right. So there's a question here. Why don't academics doubt the historicity of the Islamic prophet Muhammad? Why don't they? Because clearly something happened. Something happened in a sense where we have inside of the Quran maybe the Prophet Muhammad's name being written. We have, later on people discussing this person, um, that he did some certain things. So therefore, there must have been a Muhammad. Now, the question is, do they think the Muhammad that's written about with inside of the Hadith literature or the Sirah literature reflects the historical Muhammad? The answer to that is no. They all realize that these sources are completely unreliable and have been discredited as being historical, and tracing back to tracing back to actually the time. Like this is what he said, for example, if inside of the hadiths. Nobody takes any of that as being seriously. This is Muhammad. Okay. So yeah, yeah, they accept the historicity of him, but not the one of the faith. They will say that there is a Quranic. What can we learn from the Quranic Muhammad, i.e., Quran as a historical source of who Muhammad was? All right, what can we learn from that? That's as much as they would go with that. Other stuff, they've gone through the whole of the Sirah and all of the Hadiths, and I don't think any of them would say, yeah, this represents the historical something, but everybody's in search of the historical kernel. That's what they call it, the historical kernel of truth in regards to Muhammad, but none of it can we say that goes back directly to Muhammad. Ooh. So, okay, cool. Which academics doubt the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the Surah and Hadiths? All of them. All of them. I don't even need to name a name. I could just say all of them. That's just normal with inside of academia. Was good. Rasta Priest up in the building. Talk to me, King. Again, the link has been shared, so everybody has the ability to come on in. Okay. So it says here, and certainly we send to every nation a messenger. Okay, a Rasul, an apostle. Interesting. So I am claiming that yes, Muhammad was definitely an apostle. So therefore, um, hmm, let's just share this. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Cool. So historical Muhammad was, according to me, a bishop. According to the Quran, which I agree with, he was an apostle. He was sent to a nation. Um, ask your Muslim friends, what nation was he sent to? You let me know. I will tell you he was sent to the Abyssinian nation, or the Abyssinian Empire, which, you know, was the whole of the Arabian Peninsula. Okay, they had control of the whole of the Arabian Peninsula, and that's who he was sent to, and that's where his preachings extended. Hmm. Now, Kalam, I don't know, like what question would I ask myself in terms of this historical Muhammad? Kalam, kalam. If you say what you say is true, surely, surely we would find, I don't know, proof of this.
Excuse me, Kalam. Can I say something here?
Yeah, talk to me. Talk to me.
I appreciate your work, but it seems like you're asking the right question,
Mhm.
and the audience that you're getting is not necessarily the audience that you should be asking the question to. If that makes
Oh,
sense.
100%.
Or does that not make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. 100%.
So my advice is perhaps you might want to scale down the presentation a little bit and keep it a little simpler. Or do you think I'm wrong for saying that?
No, you're right. You're right.
Right. So
Mhm.
this way you're getting the audience that you want, and you can maintain more of a rapport, more of a viewership with the audience that you're actually looking to get. Because I think that you're asking the right question. Was he illiterate? In the context of the people that you're trying to reach, it does not really matter because the book wasn't even written yet. So literacy didn't necessarily play a role at that particular point in time. It was just like an oral tradition that later became written. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Right.
I would say that the audience. Ooh, I could hear myself. Give me a second. Actually, no. I'll just walk. I'll just go through. So the audience that I'm actually looking for is. Oh wait, no, this is too much. Let me just turn this off. No, I don't even know. I don't even know how to turn this off. I can just hear myself echoing. But anyways, once I'm talking, I'll just do it like this. So the audience I'm looking for is people who are actually read up on this particular topic. Um, Normally, we would want like the broader audience, but right now I'm just having fun and just kicking back. And I want the people who actually read this topic to know, like, what do you think? Like those people who've actually read academic works on this, like, do you agree that it was an illiterate person or not? Do you agree that he was, well learnt, well studied? I go to the extent of calling him a bishop. Do you disagree? Do you agree? What evidence do you have for and against it? Like, it would be nice if people who are, read up on this subject. But I see that most people, they don't know what's going on, which is a shame.
See, and this is the point that I'm trying to get across to you, Kalam. You want the audience, but in a way, you're kind of talking over the audience head because most of us, including me, are not as well read as this. So you have to go into the religious text and say, this is what the religious text says, and sort of bring them into your way of thinking. You're reaching far beyond them in a way. So you have to go back, revamp the presentation, say, this is what the religious text says, and sort of lead them into your way of thinking. Because right now, you're not really doing that, Kalam. You're talking over my head and everybody else's head who's watching this. Because this is fairly new information. So you have to slow down, revamp your presentation just a little bit, and say, well, listen, let's start from here, bring them in here, and then lead them here. Because you spoke to them enough to know where they are. So you have to meet them where they are at this point in time. Because right now I think you're scaring them off. is what you're really doing unintentionally. If what I'm saying makes sense. You're scaring them off because people are not like me. They're not
Yeah.
willing to come in and say, I don't know something. Because I realize humility is a very important thing. Because if I come in here and I'm not humble and talk crazy, I'm going to get humbled anyway. So let me just come in on a humble and say, I don't know what you're talking about. Lead me to where you need to go. So
So
this way you have a better rapport with the audience. And of
let me
course,
give
I'm the worst person to say this because I don't really, this is not my interest. I'm just supporting you because you're the one who supports me. So I'm trying to, just come in and show a little support so you don't feel like, you want to lay down one day and just not come back out again. Because I don't have feels when you're bringing forth information, and basically nobody really wants to hear what you're saying. You're seeing views, but in your mind, those views don't mean anything because the point that you're getting across just ain't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Although don't feel bad because you get way more views than me. So that says something. I got my little 20, 25 views a video, and I'm good with that because I know those 25 people are listening for something. They want to hear something. So don't feel discouraged, brother. You're getting to way more people than me. So that's something.
So
So you keep doing what you do, but I think you need to just simplify it a little bit more for your audience, and you do better to get across to your target audience.
I'm trying to think right now. I'm going through. I don't even care about secret. I don't even care about the audience right now. I just want to know. How do I go through this right now? I'm thinking thoughts, and I'm letting everybody just come into my head. Pause and let me think. So historical Muhammad. I'm saying that he is an apostle. I'm saying that he's sent to the nation of Abyssinia. What would be a next point of thought from that? From somebody that doesn't know anything. Jose, that's where you come in.
What I'm saying is, at this point, you're asking the right question, but unfortunately, you're kind of asking the wrong person. Reason being, I can't really think in the Islamic perspective, because I think if I was a Muslim, the first thing I'm gonna do is fight everything you just said. Is a fight. I'm gonna keep fighting until I can't fight anymore,
I hear that.
because
I hear that.
I see them doing it all the time.
I hear that. But I don't
Yeah.
care about. I care about history. So from history now, where do we go next? Because we're talking about a historical figure.
Listen, to be honest, I think at this point, for now, I'm not a person who's familiar with this. I think you've done all you could possibly do historically to pretty much break down that the historical and the religious individual are two different people. It's an amalgamation of this one, that one, and the next one. So if you're looking historically, there's nothing more you could do historically to break this down, because you covered literacy. You went into the religion to say the religion says this, the religion says that. This person is from here, this is what he looks like, and this is not the same person that we're talking about in the Quran. It's clearly not. So I don't think you could go anywhere else at this point, as from my perspective. I think you've done a thorough job.
He says
So
here.
either you just keep doing it or you just stop talking about it.
All right, cool. It says
I
here,
don't know what to say.
not the prototype of Muhammad of Islam. Interesting, interesting. Live, what do you have to say?
What's going on, guys?
Looks good.
Uh, interesting show. So what we saying? Muhammad is a Christian.
The historical Muhammad, yes, was a Christian.
Wow, that's a game changer to be honest. If that is true, but I don't know, man. So so what is your how do you come to that conclusion, man? Like,
How do we come to that conclusion? That's a good question. Um, the first question I'll have to ask then, when we think about Muhammad, where do we go to in our
yeah,
heads? Where do we go to?
the Quran.
The Quran. Perfect. So then the question is, does the Quran reflect Christianity for it to be, for him to be a Christian, even, right? Is this Christian teachings that are present inside of the Quran? Cool. That's a question we'll ask ourselves. Next, I'm going to ask you, what would make you be convinced that the Quran is a Christian text?
Uh, the the philosophy behind Christianity, like the Christology, must be there for one, right? The
Mhm.
Christology, the dogma of the religion must be there. Like certain things like monotheistic beliefs and that kind of like vague ideas wouldn't cut it because these
Cool.
Abrahamic
So
have a lot of like similarities, right? Because the source might be the same, but to say Christianity exactly, the Christology must be there.
all right. So in order for Muhammad to be a Christian, his products, i.e., his works, which we have today, the Quran, would have to reflect a monotheistic God, and it would have to reflect a Christian Christology, right? So then we have
Right.
to go into, I would say, the first thing is who and what is the God of the Quran? The God of the Quran is introduced first of all as Rahman. Rahman is a South Arabian
Oh, really?
Christian deity.
So
That's number
I
one.
clarification on that because I don't have knowledge on that one. So
Yeah.
Rahman, is that a word in the Quran?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is that in reference to Allah?
So Rahman and Allah is equivalent or is made equivalent. Yes. So Allah is the North Arabian Christian name for God, and Rahman is the South Arabian Christian name for God.
So both of them are in the Quran. You're saying.
Yes, both of them are in the Quran.
Can you cite an example of like how it's a context and reference in the Quran and reference to Rahman? Say
I'll just
example. Remember, I
be
don't know, it's hard to
quick and
remember.
easy. Quick and easy. Before you read every single chapter in the Quran, there is
Yeah.
something called a Bismillah. Bismillah is basically you introduce the Quran by saying, in the name of Allah, who is the Rahman, who is merciful. Okay, so you say
In the
Bismillah al Rahman al Rahim,
in the name of Allah, the Merciful, right? The whole thing.
the most, yep, the merciful, the gracious. So in there, you literally have Christian vocabulary.
And
Inside
this
of
is
that,
not
inside of the book, you have
the
mention of course, the Old Testament figures, and then you also have mention of Jesus and his apostles. So quite clearly, we see that there is um, a monotheistic referencing to a god, right?
I don't really have any deep knowledge
Do you
about
agree
that.
or disagree?
I mean, what you're saying makes sense. Like it makes a lot of sense.
Cool. Then we
There
have
is
to go now to the Christology.
mhm.
Does the Christology of the Quran reflect the Christology of Christians? That would be the next question, right?
Mm,
Let's see if I can pull something up.
So Kalam, once again, let me jump in here. As someone who's not a believer, what you're really saying is in scholarship, this is something that they call syncretism, which means taking an earlier deity and merging it with a later deity and making them one and the same. Is that correct? Is that what you're
Say
trying to say, or am I going too far?
you, you could pretty much say that, um, although both of them are supposed to be the same deity anyway. And synchronism kind of works when they're two different deities.
So they're actually the same deity, they're not two different deities.
Yeah, they're the same deity.
Well, I'm learning too, so I'm trying to help here, but once again, I'm at a disadvantage too because I'm not familiar with the information either.
me either. I'm not at all. I haven't read the Quran. I'm not like religious person. I'm trying to learn. I learned a lot from Colin, to be honest. He's a teacher when it comes to these kind of things.
Okay, so oh wow, I haven't seen Ayat in ages. Okay, so let's see what I can go through here. I've got a nice book called The Quranic Jesus. And what I love about this book, it has a nice place with all the references. Okay. All right. I think this is it. Chapter 26. There we go. I mean, not chapter, page 26. So in here, it has a nice um, listing of the times where Jesus is mentioned inside of the Quran. So he's mentioned as, let's see if I can make that a bit bigger. Too big. Let's get it just right. Cool. He's mentioned as Jesus is mentioned 39 times, 39 verses of the Quranic corpus. Jesus, Jesus, son of Mary, the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, God's servants, God's messenger, a word from God, the word of truth, God's word, and a spirit from him, a prophet, one among the righteous, and among those brought near to God. Okay. So inside of that, do you spot any appellations that could contradict the Christology or the teachings of Christ about Christ, even?
No,
Cool. Um, so where else can we go with this? Is there
I might.
anything gone?
I'll go like when you say I have a follow up. I think that's the most important question. So, what is the intentionality behind? For example, why is this thing important? I think emphasizing or telling us why it is important is also important because people pay attention, right? If it is true, the historical Muhammad is actually a different Muhammad. What is the significance of it? Like individually, how can people utilize that knowledge, or why is it significant? Why should we pay attention to it?
Why? That's a good question. I think everybody has their own reasons. So, for example, a Muslim might have a reason that's completely different to a Christian. Um, Myself personally, it has no bearing on my own personal life. Uh, it's mainly a intellectual curiosity of history for me myself. So it doesn't have any bearing. It's only like intellectual. I don't know.
Based on that
I
point
don't
of
know if
view,
I use certain words, but it's intellectual playing around for myself. If you
that,
are
that
a Muslim, it could be something that is, what can
okay.
it be? What can it be? It
Can
could
I
be a
put
discovery of the truth of your own religion. It could be discovery of the true Muhammad who you're supposed to follow. It might just completely change your paradigm in that sense. As a Christian, how would it change you? Maybe you could be a little bit more giving, a little bit more less harsh to the other side, i.e., the Muslims, because maybe you see, um, they're kind of following something similar to you. So maybe.
so here's my idea, right? Like the way I feel about the whole thing. I see utility in religion, right? It's a very important thing for people, for a nation. Longest, it emanates from their own culture. So for the Arabs, Islam is an important and fundamental. I mean, well, it served its purpose. It probably outlived its purpose at this point. We live in a modern society now, but in the past, it built an empire. It actually uh, forged an ethnic religion, right? So that's for the Arabs. I'm not an Arab. Why should I be concerned about this whole thing? That's my attitude, basically, right? So I'm not an Arab. Certainly, it's not my culture, but I see what it should be useful for them, right? But for you to invest time and energy, because it's an extensive research that you're doing about this thing. The curiosity is not just for the sake of curiosity. What is driving behind it? Well, like, are you trying to prove them wrong, or should
Nope.
unpleasant relationship with the religion itself, or that those things are important because for a person like me, I'm totally disinterested about Muhammad, to be honest.
Yep. I think you, yeah, for real. I don't see the draw to it if you're not part of that paradigm.
Right.
So I guess the only people that might care would be Christians and Muslims, and maybe who people who are somewhat affected by Muslims could possibly have a care towards
You
it. Hmm?
could that be unintentionally a factor in your interest? Like, did you feel
So
like
yeah,
you
this I
should be?
got more interested into it when I went to Speaker's Corner, and you're
Mm,
dealing with a lot of Muslims there. So it's like, oh, let me actually uh, use the skills that I normally use, for example, for a Sarnetta Black conscious community, like what we do over there, we do history, we go into languages, like philosophy, science. That's what we do. Cool. So now I'm over here in the UK. Let's put that over towards a prominent group, which are Muslims. Let's see what they have to say, and let's learn their stuff a little bit. Oh, okay, cool. This is quite interesting. Oh, there is even an a African presence and influence on this religion. Oh, okay. Let me just dig in a bit deeper. But otherwise, no, I'll have no emotional care or tie to this because this got nothing to do with. I keep saying this to people, like this ain't my people. I am not number one East African. I am not Ethiopian, Eritrean, Somalian, Yemeni, South Arabian, nothing. So I don't really care on a personal level, but I do find it quite intriguing because this is a religion that,
you're a
you
nerd.
know,
Like,
2 billion
of course,
followers. Very interesting.
intellectual curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kudos, man. I mean, for me to invest this kind of energy on something, intellectual curiosity is not enough.
But for me, I'm a bit different
Yeah, yeah.
because things like, I don't know, watching, I don't know, sports. A lot of my friends will watch like football and all these other sports. That's never been something I would spend my time on, or watching, I don't know, like trash TV, like Big Brother and all these other programs. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. I'd rather read a book. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, my own, like my joys in life as a youth, growing up, like 16 years old onwards, is either money, girls, or knowledge. Those are the three things I'm interested in, to be honest with you.
Money is
Um,
not very important. Yeah. You're in, I don't know about you.
and then, as I said, like with Kemet, it's one of those things as well. I always say to like my friends, I'm not even going to try to tell you to come on board to Kemet information
Yeah, the
because
comment,
it takes a
the
special type of person to want to learn ancient history, Kemetic history, a language that has been dead for however many years. Um, you know, it takes a special type of person who wants to learn 700 different glyphs and read a language that's no longer spoken. So like certain things, I'm like, yeah, I'm just that type of guy, man. I like strange things.
so do you think that Jamaican people were black? Do you think they
So could you repeat that? It's a lot of, so whoever's not speaking, can you just mute mic?
Oh, sorry.
No, say that again.
do you think that the Kemet people, do you think they were our ancestors? Are they black? Were they black people? Like, do they have any relationship with us?
Okay, so personally, I don't claim them as my ancestors. They could
Yeah.
possibly be my ancestor, like genealogically, but I don't claim them as my own. That's number one. I don't claim them as my own ancestors. Number two, do I think that they were black? I think there was, depending on what time in history, definitely they are phenotypically black. Whatever black is, they were that. They were phenotypically black.
Uh, so you're
Yeah,
realistic.
yeah,
I mean, because like the way it presented that conversation about ancient Egyptians, it presented as if they were black Africans, and they were not actually. That the fact of the matter is, I don't believe at least that they were Nubians and Egyptians are two distinct, different people groups. I
yeah.
think that's what
You
the
have
Nubians
different ethnic groups, different cultural groups.
different
Um,
racial groups. There is such a thing
sorry,
called. So we can use race or ethnicity. They're
I'd rather
different.
use
Yeah.
ethnicity rather than race.
Yeah, so they were not our people then. So why are like the conscious community obsessed with people who have nothing to do with actually slavery started in Egypt, I guess, right? Is that true?
I
I
wouldn't
think
say slavery started. I think slavery is an institution that goes way back. Um,
at
it's
least
just a
in a bigger scale, like from the most famous civilizations, Egyptians actually enslaved Nubians based on race. At least race-based slavery started there. Like at least not, if not there exactly, then close in terms of timeline. So why are the conscious community uh, like really getting fascinated by the first slave drive?
oh, go ahead, Jose.
Can I jump in here for a second, Kalam?
Doing that.
Is he? I can't hear him very well. Is he trying to say that slavery started in ancient Kemet? Is that what he's saying?
Can you say that
Or
again?
am I misunderstanding? Because I can't hear him very well. Go ahead, brother. Is that what you're saying?
You wanted me to say what I was saying again?
Yeah, I really couldn't hear it. I'm struggling with a headset, so you might
Yeah,
speak
so
up a little bit.
basically, like ancient Egyptians, based on history and genetics, were not ancestors of um, Caribbean Americans or African Americans. No connection there. Not only that, they enslaved people that are similar to black people, the Nubians, the ancient Egyptians, the pharaoh enslaved Nubians.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so why is the conscious community fascinated with that culture to begin with?
Because let me pose a very interesting linguistic question to you. If you look up the word slavery, there is no direct word in the Kemetic language that means that specifically. And if we're looking into slavery from the concept of what we know as transatlantic slave trade, that did not exist. There is no primary evidence to say that that sort of thing exists in that way. There are people who, there,
Sure. You're like you're. Are you on a mic?
well, I put in my headset because I couldn't hear you.
Okay,
So
so
perhaps that's the
can you
process.
repeat what you're saying again, please?
So you're not hearing me very well.
So just repeat what you were saying.
I'm saying is if you look into the language of ancient Kemet, there is no direct word that means slavery in the sense that we know it today. That word does not exist. And the concept that we have of slavery in 2025 for the transatlantic point, that did not really exist.
So the concept of race does not exist. Is that your argument?
No, the concept of slavery that we are talking about did not
Oh, the
exist in
concept of
ancient
slavery does not exist. Okay.
and there is no direct word that means slave in the sense that we're talking about. The word hem can be used as a prisoner of war, and they also use the word for the king to call him majesty. So
Okay.
it's more like so it's more like a servant with no choice as opposed to a slave, because they use it for they
Okay.
use
Now
it
I.
in a quote unquote religious context to mean that you're a servant with no choice once you dedicate your life to the nation. You can't not do what they're supposed to. But you're not enslaved where you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. It's not like that. It just means if you've made that choice, you have to stick with it until you die. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, maybe Kalam could correct me. Maybe you could correct me. But not in the sense that we're talking about in 2025. That didn't exist. So
I
maybe
don't know,
Kalam
man.
could jump in. But Kalam does a language better than me. Maybe he could correct me.
Yeah, Kalam, where are you? You can clarify
Yo,
this.
yo, yo. 1 second. Why is it still 1 second? Why is this still giving me feedback? Hmm. Testing, testing. Okay, cool. So, what's the question?
So,
He was talking about slavery, and I said the word Kemet, slave, is a term that he used for the ruler as majesty, and he used it for the priest as a ham lecture. And it more means a service with no choice. It means once you dedicate your life to the lecture, you have no choice but to do what is asked of you. It's not like you can't go anywhere. And they're beating you and abusing you. It's like actually a very high and prestigious position. So you can't say that they were enslaved in that sense that we do in
Yeah,
2025.
so there's different types of slavery that took place in history. Transatlantic slavery is something completely different to
yeah.
slavery that happened throughout the world. It's something completely unique, I would say. But let's just, if you was to go into what took place in Kemet in terms of slavery, there was a form of hmm, indentured slavery where people who have a debt have to work off, um, yeah, have to work off whatever their debt was. So that was a form of slavery. There was another form of slavery, as you quite rightly put it, to do with captured people, where there is a war going on and those people were captured. Yeah, they were enslaved to a certain sense. They were able to gain their freedom and to actually become part of the community as well. So a lot of them you would find out, intermarried and started a family and just carried on living as Egyptian citizens. So it's a different form of slavery versus the ones that you find in Rome, Greece, Arabia, and what we know as the transatlantic slavery. But the
Pretty
brother is 100% right. The Egyptians did enslave the Nubians and others who were considered to be the nine bows.
well. Okay. So another question for you, Kalam. So the Nubians, as we speak right now, they are like a tiny percentage of the population of Egypt and Sudan. Probably 3%, less than 2%, I would say, right? The people who are called Nubians, right? So this tiny population group from northern Sudan, right? These are they like Nilo-Saharan speaking? Is that their language group? And like, if so, like, are they even by popular standard? They're not even Niger, Congo, Bantu speakers, right? These are like a totally different groups of people in Africa, right?
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
agree with me, like the fact that these are not the ancestors of most
As I
Caribbean.
say, I don't claim, personally, I don't claim them as my answers.
I know
I
personally
am
you don't.
from West Africa and I'm from the Caribbean. I am proud of my ancestry and the history of my people there. The other groups of people are Africans as well, and they have their own culture and their own history. I don't say that's my culture and history. I don't, if anybody else wants to, that's up to them. I don't mind because once you do your DNA test and you find out, yeah, I'm actually related to the Egyptians, da, 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 then fair enough. But personally, I don't care about what took place 3,000 years ago as part of my, you know, cultural identity and history. I rather take for something a bit closer. So I don't really claim that as my own.
Yeah, I mean, a person. I mean, as a person individually, I know where you stand. But like, yeah, the overall like idea is it warranty? Is it worthy of spending energy by the Black conscious community to attach their their sense of worth to these ancient people who have no connection with them, basically. So not your individual opinion, but as as a collective.
I would say that in terms of hmm, the philosophy, like I would say, as the philosophy, it belongs to us. But when I say that as us, I just I say that as humanity. You dig? Like Greek philosophy is like our philosophy. That's everybody, man. That's this is like human. I don't even know how to explain that. That's just like human legacy that's been left behind. Ancestry in terms of like humanity ancestry,
They
like
have
to that. But
sorry,
to do the whole, I don't know, man. The whole, literally, my genealogy goes back to these people. I don't care, man. I don't care.
first of all, I think for the Black conscious community, it is sort of like a Black pride kind of you know exercise. If you are honest, that's the first point. Second point is like, do they even have within that system that you just mentioned, like something like I think they call it the logos or something like the European philosophy of logic. Do they have something even similar to that, or are you just talking about just
Get it?
their religion?
Yeah, they do. So, in terms of like philosophy, like ancient Egyptian, can I put it? If you read up a lot of Greek philosophy, you would say that you would hear that they say that they went to Egypt to learn that particular philosophy. And a lot of different cultures claim the philosophy of Egypt.
Hmm. How can we utilize it like for a modern man,
Christians,
like living in
Muslims claim
artificial
it, Jews
intelligence?
claim it, Greeks claim it, Romans even claim it. I'm trying to think of other groups that claim it. A lot of them, you'll hear them talk about a particular figure called Tahuti or Thoth or Hermes Trismegistus or even Idris and Enoch. These are all, you know, ancient Egyptian figure, a ancient Egyptian figure or deity that they all claim their lineage back to.
Yeah, I wouldn't know much because I haven't really studied Kemet, and like I mentioned, that for me to be interested, I have to be an Egyptian. And unfortunately, most Egyptians are not even interested because they're Muslims now, and they want to disconnect themselves from that history. It's just that diaspora blacks who are invested in.
See, but here's the thing: the modern Egyptians, which are still Arab, tend to tend to want to conveniently hold on to their heritage for economic reasons, but they don't respect it as far as their spiritual tradition is concerned. It's just a money thing. Those are modern Egyptians. The actual descendants are in the south. Those are the original descendants. They'll tell you that, but then when you tell you that, they expect you not to act that way. So you use the term modern to fool you because the modern Egyptians are. Those are not the ancient people. They always use that term modern because they want to be intellectually honest, but they don't think that you're smart enough to catch on to what you're saying. If you understand what I'm saying,
I I, I wish I could say more because your voice is not clear. I can't hear you, but I think Kalam probably could hear.
I couldn't hear it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Jose, I don't know. Your mic is doing a madness. Can't hear you too good. Can you hear me?
Has an Egyptian statue on his profile too, and his name is Hispanic Jose, and we have an international person.
Okay, let me go here actually. Let me do this. Let me let's see if I can. Ooh. Do. Can I not paste? Hey, there we go.
Listen, Kalam, I'm gonna jump off of here because I had to go do some things. But thanks again. I'll see you on your next live, right?
Yeah, yeah. I want you to speak some tennis stuff, man. Lee. Cool. All right. So I thought let me just do that right there for who's that for? AJ Alex. Bro, I need to take this out of my head, because I can't hear nothing. Testing, testing. Hold on 1 second. Because that was too annoying. All I can hear is myself talking back to myself. I don't want that. Let's just change the audio around. There we go. Cool. So the brother asked, the brother said the Chronic Muhammad is from the north. Um, yeah, good brother AJ Alex. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the brother said that it was from the north. I would say that if you go back to the earliest, or one of the earliest Qurans that we do have, if not the earliest Quran, which is the pre-Uthmanic Quran, it's called the Sana Pamlipset. You would figure out that that particular Quran is from the south. Okay, so that Quran is actually from the south and not from the north. So, is there another question towards that? Because the Muhammad of the Quran is definitely a where is this? Yeah, the Muhammad of the Quran is actually South Arabian. Okay, let's share screen. Where are we? Right there. All right. So you have the Sana Panlipset, okay, is the oldest Quranic manuscript, one of the oldest Quranic manuscripts in existence, um, right there. And it's found where? In Yemen, uh, in the Great Mosque of Sana'a, okay, right there. And then if you know anything about this particular church, oh, sorry, slip of the tongue. Look at that. If you know anything about this particular mosque, you know that it was, let's read it here. The mosque was reportedly built in part from spolia from the Himyarite era Rumdan Palace and from the Aksumite Christian Church of Kalis that formerly occupied the site. The Great Mosque is the largest and most notable of over 100 mosques in the city of Sana'a. Okay, and that's where the Sana manuscript was actually found, with inside of this particular cathedral or church that was converted into a mosque. Okay, so back to back to what I was saying beforehand. When you look at it, you look at all the evidence that we do have. Okay, all of the evidence that we do have of the historical Muhammad, we find that you know his Quran itself is actually found within inside of the capital city of the Abyssinian Empire of Abraha, Sana, is found inside of his cathedral that was converted into a mosque. And we find the name of his uh, prophet and messenger or Rasul, Muhammad, written within inside of the Quran. So it's like all of the evidence is pointing right back to the historical Muhammad. Now, I should write this up, Let me see if I can write this up. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. Because if you know about apostles, the founding apostles, so for example, over here in England, we have the Archbishop of Canterbury. So every single archbishop sits on the throne or resides inside of the Cathedral of Canterbury, where the first, cathedral was actually set up. Like, so that's like the highest, you know, highest, how can I call it, see within inside of the UK, right? It's Canterbury, because a particular archbishop who was sent to the UK was set up there, and that was his see. And every other bishop who is the archbishop of all the other bishops in the country has to go there. Now, what do we have over here? The stories of Abraham. He built this cathedral in Sana. Okay, and then his Muhammad is also related to this Sana building, and that's his throne seat where he has to reside, right? And if you know anything about apostoleship, you'll understand that after a saint passes away, sorry, after an apostle passes away, they usually gather up their writings and they read it from that particular, place, i.e., wherever their throne was. So, for example, over here it's Sana, and then we find the oldest Quranic manuscript in Sana, the same place where Abraha was, where his Muhammad was. It's like, how much evidence do you need? How much smoking gun? Like, how much do you need for it to be like, yeah, this person was yeah, was a bishop, yeah, was a Christian, yeah, was in South Arabia, yeah. It's like, I don't understand. Sometimes I get confused, you know. You have the Muhammad of faith, right? Muhammad of faith is a North Arab. It's like, don't you understand that the name Muhammad itself is actually a Christian name from South Arabia, who Abyssinians and South Arabian Christians actually had that name. So what makes you think this person is a North Arab? It's like, I don't know, cognitive dissonance. But again, it's because people don't understand history. So it's like nobody knows, eh? And it's like, uh, what do you need? The Quran clearly shows you that this particular Muhammad is, the first time he's talking about God, he talks about the Rab and Rahman, Rahman, Rahman. Then afterwards, he goes up and speaks to people who call their God Allah. Then he introduces Rahman to them inside of the Quran. I'm not saying anything that's new. Even Muslims will agree with this, right? Inside of the Quran, and the people there is like, who is this Rahman that you want us to bow down to? It's like, don't you understand that this is a South Arabian literature trying to be introduced to North Arabian people, and they're like, we don't even identify this who this God is. Like, we don't even know who this God is. It's completely foreign to us. So the question is, like, why is a North Arabian person bringing a South Arabian and Axumite? Because even over in Ethiopia as well, they call their deity Rahman. Why is he bringing this Ethiopian god over to the North Arabs? Nobody's asking these questions, which is like frustrating to me. Frustrating, very, very frustrating. Why is nobody asking these questions? Hmm? Okay, cool. Let me go back and read some of your comments. Okay. From there, I said, Muhammad, look at the proto Quran. Tell me, which is the proto Quran? Callum, check proto Quran. Okay. Okay, my source is too late. Okay, I'm gonna see. Yes, this is a Christian name. Okay, cool. Because Islam was made up in the north. Okay, cool. Let's type in proto Quran. We're going to share screen. Go back to manuscript. We're going to type in proto Quran. Proto Quran. Okay, the term proto Quran isn't a standard term, but it can refer to the earliest written fragments of the Quran that predate standardized copies, such as the Birmingham and Sana manuscript. These fragments are crucial for understanding the Quran's early history and development, including the use of unpointed Arabic script. Okay, so I highlighted the Sana one to you, and then there's another one called the Birmingham one. So I'm trying to understand, is this what you're talking about? The same Quran that I made mention to you, or are we talking about something completely different? Let me know, because I'll keep on going down. Let me know, because clearly it's the same thing if that's what you're talking about, because anyways, let me know. You let me know. Islam, because Islam was made up in the north. I don't agree. I don't disagree with you if you're going to say that the traditions of Islam is made up in the north. And what I mean by the traditions, I'm talking about the hadith, the sirahs, um, the adab literatures, the tarikh, you know, every single piece of literature that is out external to the Quran, yeah, was most probably made, or not all of them. I wouldn't say they're all, but yeah, there's stuff that's made in the north and made in the east, i.e., in Iraq, Basra, Kufa, that type of region, further up in East Asia, into Asia, West Asia, wherever it's called, right? Yeah, we know that, but that's like later material. If we're talking about the Quran, we have to be like, we have to be serious. I think the only scholar that I'm aware of, anyway, I think that the only scholar that says the Quran is like from Iraq or Stefan or something like that is Stephen Shoemaker, or it's from the north or east, north and east, whatever the case is. But everybody else, in terms of academia, they all say no, the Quran is Hijazi. Why do we know that the Quran is Hijazi? We know that the Quran is Hijazi for the simple fact that it has Ethiopic words inside of the Quran for major figures and themes. Um, so if it was from north and east, there will be no reason. Like, what is the reason that it has an Ethiopic something? Like, if you look at the geography and linguistics, it's like it doesn't make sense for the Ethiopic words to be in the east and north. It makes more sense with inside of a South Arabian, West Arabian context. So yeah, so you're gonna have to give me something. Please give me something that supports your idea that it is from the north. Okay. Check Jewish sources because Islam was made up. Okay, cool. Yes, the books and the new religion called Islam is from the north because before then they were all Christians. Yeah, I would say that in terms of Christianity, I think they were Christians. Like if you hear John of Damascus, they call it a heresy, a Christian heresy. So they understood that these people were Christians, but they were just a heretical for him. They were a heretical form of Christianity. One has to wonder and ponder at what point in history, because he's writing in the 730s, I believe. At what point in history does Islam become separated from Christianity? That's a great question, you know. Um, and unfortunately, most people don't even think to ask such questions. Unfortunately, because they just think that it's always been, it's always from the inception. It's been a different religion. It's like no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. That came at a certain point in history. The Muhammad of the Quran didn't teach anything different than Christianity. Okay. Well, listen, I had some nice cognac. It's finished now. Yes, I know. I need to come off now because my cognac is finished. Hmm. Anyways, I thought I'll come on here live with you guys. Nothing planned, just to just chat with you guys. Um, Jeez, man, like, trying to see how to pronounce your name. Akram Idris. There you go. Akram Idris. What's good? My Eritrean brother. Salute, salute. Respect to you, King. Do you know what? Yeah, I just remembered, my good brother from Bricky, Omar. Hey, from college, good Eritrean brother. I wonder how he's doing now, That brother there. Ah, the love I have for him is just crazy. Anyways, so yeah, family tree. I thought let me just quickly do a quick something based upon my thoughts today. I had some free time. There's no show lined up or anything like that, just some free time. And I thought let me just kick it with you guys, giving you guys the opportunity to come in and ask questions and talk and so forth. But yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting times, very, very interesting times indeed. Let me actually let you know stuff that I've been working on. Actually, let me think. What have I been working on? So yeah, I actually have been working on the Abyssinian origins of Islam website, and again, I am working on. And I might just bring out the course online actually as well. So I've been working on the curriculum is already done for it. That's number one. The curriculum is already done for the Abyssinian origins of Islam. But the next step is for me to put it into some schools as a pilot. Can't wait to do that. That's something I need to do. And then also, what else do I need to do? Yeah, I'm going to let it run online. So some of you guys can actually come in, a pilot group of adults, because it's going to be an adult version as well, to come in and actually learn about the Abyssinian origin of Islam. You know, exciting times. Yeah, talk to me, Queen. How are you?
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm fine. You?
good, good, good. I'm well.
It's been a while.
It's so long, so long.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I wasn't with you in the beginning, but I just saw the heading, So I just wanted to find out why he said, was he a bishop or an
Okay.
illiterate? Right.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello?
1 second. I'm
Was
trying to.
was you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to get you into my headset because I can hardly hear. 1 second. Um, testing, testing. That's not working. See, the moment I take off the headset, now it's not working. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay. Which is I can't hear you well. Okay. If I can get you to speak up a bit louder because I can hardly hear you.
Okay. Hello, can you?
Yep, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, I was asking
Yep.
why did you ask that question whether he was a bishop? I don't know why you asked that question.
That whether Muhammad was a bishop or whether he was illiterate.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Um,
For the
because
side, I see you defend that he wasn't. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think some time back, right? That's what I wanted to talk about, the illiterate side. But can you tell me the bishop side?
yeah. So um, it's a question that's been
Hello?
asked before. Especially you can find the question being asked with inside of Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir basically collates a lot of the scholars of his time, questioning what religion was the Prophet Muhammad. And some people, there was a crowd of them that said that he was a Christian. Okay, so let's just move on the principle that before Islam, yeah, Muhammad was a Christian. Let's just move on that premise alone. If Muhammad was a Christian, was he just simply a person who was, I don't know, a layman who was just culturally a Christian, or was he somebody that actually participated within side of the religion itself? So did he chase any roles and offices? So did he become a deacon, a priest, a bishop? You know, that's a question that one should ask ourselves. So I'm going to ask you, do you think before the religion of Islam came, do you think that the Muhammad was a Christian, or you think something else?
No, I don't think he was a Christian.
You don't think he
He
was?
was neither. No, no. The Quran clearly tells us that he did not know about the previous scriptures. Okay, I think that's Quran 29:48. Okay, God is telling that He did not know the previous scriptures. that even tells you that he wasn't an illiterate, like the Hadith people is telling us that he was an illiterate. So God is saying that. I mean, if you can put that verse up, I don't know, or I can read it.
Yep, pulling it up right now for you.
Okay.
It says here, and you did not recite before it any scripture, nor did you inscribe one with your right hand. Otherwise, the falsifiers would have cause for doubt.
Yes, exactly. He grew up in a pagan society. Pre-Islam Arabia, they were pagans mostly. So the Hadith telling us that he was an illiterate. This Quran even debunked that notion, because if it says that you did not, neither did you write, it means he could write. Else the people of the book would have said he copied from the previous scriptures. So it tells you that he wasn't an illiterate, he could read and write. And there are so many verses even in the Quran that Allah is telling us that the pagan of Arabia were accusing him that he fabricated the Quran himself. They accuse him of so many things, that he wrote down the Quran himself. And he was among their people. If he could not read, they wouldn't have made those allegations. Read or write, they couldn't have made those allegations against him. So it tells you clearly that he wasn't an illiterate. He could read and write. It's just the hadith that made up those. And this verse 62, 2, God is telling us that He is the one who raised for the unlettered a messenger among among themselves, reciting to them His revelations, purifying them, and teaching them the book. An illiterate cannot teach them the book. If he was an illiterate, he couldn't have taught them the book. So it tells you that he wasn't an illiterate.
There you go.
He could
Teach,
read
sister.
and write.
Teach.
You
There
say?
you go.
I didn't hear that.
I said, yeah, there you go. Teach, teach. That's right.
Yeah. So, and then teaching them the book and wisdom, for indeed they had previously been clearly astray. you know as I told you earlier on, that he grew up in a pagan society. So God chose him to be the messenger of him, and then to teach his people the book. He had not seen the previous books before, and that's why God was telling us in like I mentioned before, Quran 29:48, that he did not read or write those books, or else they would have accused him of what he did not know. So unlettered doesn't mean he was an illiterate. Unlettered simply means he was ignorant about the previous scriptures. You know. So there's so many verses that debunks, you know, um, the hadith, the tradition that he was an illiterate. I don't know why they came up with that. You know. And I
Yep.
see you, I think, though you are not a Muslim, but I think you even understand Islam better than some of us Muslims. Yes, listening to you on some few occasions, you even defend the Prophet than these Sunnis. It was just so many things, so many lies against the Prophet.
That's right.
That the Quran. So I don't know, a Muslim listening to you or watching you as a now, they should read the Quran. The Quran entails a lot. That's what the Quran says. Allah says in the Quran that everything is explained in the Quran, has details. He did not leave anything outside the Quran for us. So we should read the Quran and see the hadiths are just made up against the Prophet. So many things, so many lies, that he married a child though it does not relate, but I'm only saying it does not relate to your topic. You married a child. The Quran is completely against marriage of children. That's why it addresses adults. The Quran itself addresses adults, men and women, and it even tells you that before you deal with a child, the person has to reach a marriageable age, and that is maturity. you know Even with that, you have to test the person to see whether the person is physically or mentally capable before you can deal with a child, by using the orphan child as an example. So it tells you that the Quran is against um the child marriage, like the hadith lied about him. Maybe the Arabs, they just wanted to marry children. If they intentionally did that, maybe
Yeah.
they just want, because their tradition, they can marry children at early age, like betroth them. So maybe they just wrote that into the hadith and lied about the
Yeah.
prophet, because the Quran tells us that you have to nurse a woman, a mother has to nurse the children up to 2 years. you know
Mm.
2 years, even you raise the person to the person reach prime before the person can be responsible for yourself. So how can the Quran tells you to marry children, those who make lies about 65 for? How can it? If the book tells you that marrying women, children are no women.
That's right. But sis, give me a second because I do want to bring in these brothers into the show. And I'm definitely going to leave it open as an open panel where you guys can actually discuss because, I'm technically time to have a little dinner. But yeah, Akani, what are you telling me, King?
You saying, bro?
Yeah.
Saying you back at it, man. We back at it, man.
Yeah, I thought, let me just give a nice little panel, opportunity so everybody can come in and talk. I'm not going to be here for longer though. But what are you saying?
Yeah, no, what do you call it?
We'll be leaving it open so you
Said I
guys
see
can.
open panel about what is it about the topic about the Abyssinian Muhammad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop any wisdom?
Yeah, go ahead. I've got some wisdom, but I'm gonna keep it in the boot. But I've got some questions. Not it's questions you really much know, but it needs to be emphasized on because you done a table and you put Hind within the lineage, correct? But the Kabshi, the Muhammad being the Islamic Muhammad is like basically my Muhammad. He's documented as having Kabshi heritage, correct?
Your Muhammad, yes.
Yeah, my Muhammad. Yeah, cool.
It said that
My Muhammad with this
he
Kabshi,
was.
I don't know why I'm saying Kabsha with the Kabsha heritage.
Uh-huh.
It's regarding maternal, correct? My
Mm,
Muhammad.
your Muhammad, they don't know.
They
They
don't
just,
know, yeah, but because they don't know, remember they've got my Muhammad, they've got the paternal lineage intact, so we can trace it to this father, to that father. But regarding the Kabsha one, because they don't know, it's quite it, things like that. Well, what the scholars are saying is it's most likely probably a maternal heritage. This is what the conclusion is. My Muhammad. But since we want to go there into maternal, paternal heritage, if it's based on my Muhammad and it's a maternal heritage, your Muhammad is still in the mix of paternal lineage, heritage lineage, because the woman is still connected to a paternal line. Maternal heritage is woman, child, woman, child, and grandmother. Woman, child, grandmother. So the child could be male or female, but it all has to go back to the womb. That's a maternal heritage. So your feces, if you're using Ibn Kabsha as an evidence for Muhammad, this would be basically your one's still paternal, so it wouldn't go in line with the Muhammad, because that lineage, that name is connected. It is either they don't know or it's maternal. So you can't put it to paternal, because even your Muhammad Quzai, he doesn't have a paternal lineage going back to Kabsha. So where are you getting this connection from? Because in my Muhammad, because if you're getting it from my Muhammad, the source, they're saying they don't know, and some scholars connect it to maternal. They never connect it to paternal, never. So
Okay, so
yeah.
let me just stop you there. Because you said a lot. Number one, you're gonna have to pull up a source where they tell you it's a maternal ancestor, because that would be quite interesting. I've never seen that at all. So, are you able to pull up a source on that?
Now I heard this from my mom, so I'm gonna have to question him more about it. But I actually heard this from my imam.
Question your imam, because and say provide evidence, because when I come on Titans TV, I need to show my evidence, and I can't just be like, trust me, bro. I got it.
Cool. So pass that one. Yeah, go on.
And what else did you say? I don't know. What else did you say?
Basically, so either cool. So let's put it the maternal side to the side. You don't know, correct?
In terms of Muslims, yeah, they don't know. They
Cool.
just see it as
your Muhammad. So we flip it to your Muhammad now. He's Ibn Quzay. How you getting the Kabsha? Because it's Ibn's paternal. Facts. We're not gonna wrestle with that one. Anyone named Ibn this or Ibn that, even if they have a woman in their lineage, it's paternal. That's facts. So where you getting that connection from?
Okay, first of all, what you just said there, that's false. Yeah.
No, it's not false. It's facts.
It is false.
How? Demonstrate, show us a maternal Arab culture with where they have a maternal heritage. This mother to that mother to that mother to that uncle to that mother.
I'll show you why it's false, right? Because the term Ibn just means son. So, for example, Muhammad is the Ibn of Amina. Muhammad is the Ibn of Abdullah. Okay, he's the son.
But as a name, you're not gonna have that.
You do, because if you go back and you look at the person, look, I'll do this actually. I'll do that. But this is not my argument, because I don't even argue this. But let me just.
No, that's critical though. It's very vital, because it's part of your argument.
That you're wrong in what you're saying. But that's nothing to do with anything to do with my argument. Just to show you that you're wrong. Okay.
No, because you're connecting the Kabsha to Ibn Quzay. They got different lineages.
Hold on. Cool. Right here. We have somebody who's called Amir ibn Hind.
Yes.
Okay. So they call him here, look, Amir the third Ibn al-Munzir. All right. More commonly known by the matronymic Amir ibn Hind.
Go to Hind now. Let's go to her name. Go on. Can we click onto Hind? Can we find anything about Hind?
We can't click on Hind, but we do know who Hind is. Yeah.
It's a woman, correct?
I'm showing you the picture of Hind already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when you connected her to an ancestor, was that via maternal or paternal? And if it's via paternal, why wasn't it not via maternal? Because you just demonstrated right now a maternal connection. So if her predecessor is not a female, it's paternal.
You just said to me,
I come from a maternal culture, so I'm on point.
Stop. You just said, right? Your argument was something about Ibn. You can't be called Ibn.
It's a fact. Ask any Arab.
Hold on. You just said, right? For example, we can say Muhammad ibn Abdullah. That's not a problem. Yeah. But if we said Muhammad ibn Amina, there is a problem.
That's unique. Right? That's unique. Oh, yeah, it's unique.
Stop. But now I've just shown you over here.
That's not the norm.
Stop. I've just shown you over here that this person is called Amir ibn Hind, right?
Yeah.
Which means he is the son of his mother called
Hind. Okay.
So the argument falls apart.
No, it don't, because who does she trace her lineage from? So who is she daughter of?
No, that's all long.
No, it's not all long. It's correct, because if it's from a woman, then you're right. If it's from a man, I'm right.
Listen. You just said, right? You can't go Amir. Sorry, you can't say Muhammad ibn Amina, right? Because it's a
Bro,
woman.
you're not
Because
getting
it's a
me.
woman.
No, you're not
So when
getting
they're
me.
showing you
I'm
somebody
saying
called
no,
Amir
you're not
ibn
getting
Hind,
me. You're
who is a
making me
woman. So it's
laugh
like,
right now.
what are
You're
you
not
talking about?
getting me. You're not. Didn't you just say what I said? I said even if they have a female predecessor or ancestor, it's still gonna connect to a male, i.e., it's still a paternal lineage. It's still paternal. It's not linking her to another woman or an uncle of her mother's brother. It's not. That's maternal tradition. You can find this in many cultures.
All right,
With this
let's.
situation, is I can guarantee you after Hind, yeah, if there is a genealogy, it's a man. I can guarantee you it'll be a man, and that's
Yeah,
the
it is.
norm of that region.
It is. It is. So
Thank
now, yeah.
you.
So, so now, yeah, we've seen that your argument falls apart.
It never falls
Your
apart.
second
It's
point was to
stern.
do with
It's
capture.
stern. It falls
Okay.
apart because you're ignorant to the situation. Million
All right.
percent.
All right. You need to rewatch this, rewind it, and hear what you said,
Bro,
and then
I'm on
you would.
point to the no, I don't
Oh,
think you're
cool,
getting me.
cool.
My case is you will never find a maternal lineage, i.e., a continuation, a lineage, not one person. That doesn't matter. We're talking
All right,
about
that's
a
fine.
chain, a isnad. You'll
That's fine.
never find it with Ibn. That's a lie. That's what I'm saying. And the capture one, that's maternal. Well, I'll bring the evidence for that. But it's grey cloud, right? It's definitely not paternal. My Muhammad, 1,000,000%. So you're gonna have to prove your Muhammad for having it as a paternal lineage because your Muhammad ibn Qusay. So they don't come from the same father. They don't. Different lineage. They don't go by maternal lineage or culture. That's cap. And if you try to say they do, you're lying. That's why you can't go beyond Hind. Hind, if you do, I can put my whole money
Hey,
on it.
can I
It's
can I
a
say to you?
paternal
Hello?
lineage.
Can I say
Hello?
something to you? And I
Hello?
might have to just keep removing you or something. Yeah. It seems as though, yeah, you are having arguments with yourself
All right, cool.
because
Let it be then, man.
let me tell you why. Because
Go on.
all this maternal stuff, I keep saying, I have never brought this up.
Bro, we've
So
spoke
why
about,
are you
we've
even?
spoken about this
Why are
at least
you
5
even
months
bringing it up?
ago. Because it's critical, because you've actually done the table now. And I remember speaking to you at least 5 months
Let
ago
me do this.
about
Let me do.
this.
Hold on.
Hello?
Stay there. Stay there. Let me do this, right? So I want to see where your confusion is, because clearly here is the table. Let me hear
Spoke
what
about
is your.
this time ago,
Let me do this actually. Stop the screen
It's a
sharing.
paternal lineage there.
Okay. So now let's see if we can bring it. Can we do this? No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Do that. Tell me, what is your problem?
It's a paternal lineage here, heritage here. This is all paternal. Hence why there's so many males. We see so many males. The him being there is it's not questionable. I mean, when I mean questionable, I mean we have to pull up on that and question why is that there? It's kind of unique because we have a consistent of males, 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 males,
Okay,
males,
no
males.
problem.
Him. Why?
I,
So that means
I
there's
acknowledge,
something
I acknowledge it's
specific
unique.
and interest. Wait, let me land.
I acknowledge it's unique.
Let
But
me
go
land.
on.
Let me
What's your
land.
point?
That means there's something interesting and specific about Amir or AMR or Amr. So we'll have to go into detail and why. But with the other guys, we don't need to go into detail and why. And it's just straight up. But anyway, yeah, you land.
So now go ahead. What's
Can I
your
ask
problem? Let me just finish this. What's your contention right here? What is your contention?
So basically, it's paternal. There's no, my issue is the capture right here.
Okay, so
Right.
what's your issue with capture? Let's get to the root of it. What's your issue with capture?
That's that name connected to that Muhammad there is via no, let me know you say maternal. It's question mark. So we don't know where that comes from. But your Muhammad Qusay is Muhammad ibn Qusay. He comes from the Al-Dakwani people. Yeah. We have no information about your Muhammad being Muhammad ibn Kabsha. You, Callum, have constructed this table. That connection you've made with your Muhammad to that Kabsha, put K's to the side. We can't even go there right now, because K's being connected to Muhammad Qusay is like, anyway, let me not even talk too much. Kabsha and Muhammad, I don't know where you got that connection from, and I definitely, I know you're getting it from K's and Yazid, but I don't want to talk about that right now. So I want to know where you're getting it from. If you put K's and Yazid to the side, is it just them, man?
Okay, so your real question is, how did you reckon that Kabsha was the father of Muhammad?
Yeah.
That's the
Not
question.
K's, not Yazid, just Muhammad.
Okay. So we know that Yazid,
No,
K's.
that's what I'm saying. Not K's or Yazid. Put K's and Yazid to the side.
I don't know why you're trying to give me limitations. I'm telling you how I got to this.
No, that means that I'm not even putting limitations. The sky's is the limit. You should be able to.
Hold on. Let me ask a question. Do you understand that these three are brothers, right?
Bro, Muhammad
Yes.
Qusay is not related to Yazid, bro.
Sorry?
He's not related to Yazid. Muhammad Qusay al-Dakwani is not related to Yazid.
Okay.
You have constructed that. You have formulated it and used your mind in and whatever. But if we just, on a layman's level, right? Like on a thing that you can teach a child, yeah, they are not connected, bro. Okay. You should have the ability to demonstrate your
you
Muhammad.
Need to mute your mic, or I'm gonna have to remove you. Right? You just made a statement. You just need to keep your mouth quiet, and then I'll respond, and then you can respond. Okay? So you acknowledge that K's and Muhammad are brothers, but you deny that Yazid is K's and Muhammad's brother. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he's not K's. You see what you're putting words in my mouth. I said he's not Muhammad's brother. I never denied Yazid and K's to be brothers.
Okay, so do you deny K's and Muhammad to being brothers then?
No, they're brothers, but I just need to
So hold on, wait, stop.
I think K's. I just need to double check if K's is Al-Qusay. If he's a Qusay, I just need to double check. I could be wrong or right, but it's the Yazid bit there where's the crux of it all. But okay. Yeah, go on.
All right. So now, let's just see your logic. You understand that K's and Muhammad are brothers. You also understand that K's and Yazid are brothers. Mm-hmm. But you deny that Yazid and Muhammad are brothers. Is that correct?
There's no connection. Yeah, I'm correct. Yeah. They're not brothers. Yep.
So could you tell me how K's and Yazid are brothers and K's and Muhammad is brothers, but Muhammad and Yazid are not brothers? Can you explain that to me?
I would say that K's and Yazid, I think I need to double check if K's is Kabsha. I don't know if he's Kabsha, but I would say if he's not Kabsha, Yazid's Harif. So I'll say they'll have the same paternal. I'll say they'll have the same paternal, and Muhammad and K's would be maternal. But there's a paternal. I wrote in my notebook. I'm not in my yard right now. I just need to go through my notebook right now. It's not that I'll look at this every day and study this episode. I'm not as sharp and quick as you, but let me go through my notes and but I've put in my notes that it's a maternal link with that they're related. Yazid's related, but via maternal or something. I wrote it down. I can't remember, but they're not related via Kabsha. That's a fact. We have no. If we put Muhammad Qusay in the room by himself, we have no way to connect him. and we have no outside source to connect him. So it's not like Kay's and Yazid's situation where we can,
bro.
your Muhammad, we have literally no
You know
lineage
what?
for him at all.
Let me do this. I don't know, man. This is why I don't even bother with this with you, because the stuff that you would be saying is just, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think you need to go back, rewatch this video, and then you will see it. You make you fumble after fumble on previous stuff. Then you're saying Kays and Muhammad are related. Kays and Yazid are related, right? But Yazid and Muhammad is not related. Then you're now saying, yeah, they're related, but I don't know, somebody's related paternally, but Muhammad's one is somehow maternally. So either way, they're related. So either way, they're brothers. So it's like, I don't think you get what you're saying. I think you literally need to write things down, have notes in front of you before you even come online to even talk. Personally, that's what I think you need to do. Let me know your thoughts on that one. So, Musa, what are you telling me?
Can you say the question that you're asking so I can understand it correctly? I think I understand it, but I just want you to ask the question again.
So the question on the actual show, who was Muhammad? Was he a bishop or was he illiterate? Or was he something completely else?
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
Choose one.
I'm gonna give you. You say so. Say the list again. Was he bishop? Was he illiterate or what?
Or whatever. Like, you tell me what your thoughts. I think he was.
This is my take. This is my take on it. I believe that Muhammad was born into a pagan family. I believe he had family. He had a family member that were Christian, like Waraka. I think he came into contact with another Christian, isn't it? Called, I think, was it Arian, the monk? According to the mainstream Muhammad.
Oh, Bahira.
Was it Bahira?
Correct, Bahira.
Somewhere down the line. Yeah, he came into contact with a character. Okay, you call him Bahira. So he had Waraka, who's the one who convinced him to say that, yeah, you're in contact with some type of divine power when he first got spiritual encounter in the cave. Then you had the Bahira that he came into contact with in his life. There was in pagan Arabian Peninsula, there was, as we already know, there's tribes of Arab Jews that are in and around pagan Arabia. There is also Christian Arabs in and around the Arabian Peninsula, whether they're trading with Ethiopians to the south who are Christian, or they're trading with Byzantine to the north, which are Christian. So there's definitely room to say that although he's born to a paganistic family, the Quraysh, he's not completely alien to the notion of biblical prophets. Does this make sense?
I hear you.
So I think he was pagan, but illiterate. He was pagan. Why do I say he was illiterate? Because he didn't have full comprehension of biblical text, i.e., Prophet Muhammad wasn't a rabbi or born to rabbis, so he had mastery over the Torah. He was not born to Christians. Prophet Muhammad did not go Christian school. Oh yeah, Prophet Muhammad in his youth, he went to Christian school in the Byzantine north, or he went to Christian school in the Ethiopian Christian south. His parents gave him money and said, yeah, go to school. And he was a pagan, but he went to Christian school. I don't know of that in the mainstream narrative of Prophet Muhammad of the Quraysh. I do know he had contact with Christian characters, whether they were, who are more well versed in the Bible, the Tanakh, than Prophet Muhammad was. Prophet Muhammad being a pagan and doing the pagan things of the Arabs of that time. But I don't think he was comfortable, or he was questioning. He had doubts about his pagan beliefs or concerns. In Arabs claim, whether you agree or don't agree, they claim to have a biblical lineage coming from Abraham via Ishmael. You see what I'm trying to say? So they through some type of biblical lens, they still think they have a descendant or origin with the Bible, and they in the Quran.
One second. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna open it up. We have like 10 minutes, I don't know, on here maybe. I don't know, unless you don't want to go for longer. The link has been shared. I'm gonna be off the camera for a little bit. I will be here. I will be present. I will be listening in. Where's the link? 1 second. It's just that I haven't had my dinner yet, so I'm gonna have my dinner. Okay, so you guys keep yourselves.
Wait, Callum, you just because I just want you to throw some pointers if I'm going if at any time I'm wrong.
I don't agree with anything. You just
okay. And can you quickly give me some feedback to why you don't agree with the story that I said about what occurred?
I would say to you that in terms of region of Arabia, the region of Arabia was already Christianized by, if we're talking about the traditional Muhammad, which it seems that you are, the traditional Muhammad grew up with inside of a Christian environment. The two religions that were prominent at the time were Christianity and Judaism. So that was it. In terms of
is that enough to say that is that enough to say that Muhammad was illiterate?
That's nothing to do with literacy right now. The environment that he was brought up into.
Yeah,
would have been
I'm with you.
a Jewish or Christian environment. In terms of cult center of Mecca, the cult center of Mecca was a church anyway. So definitely it would have been a Christian environment that he would have grown up into, traditional Muhammad at the very least. In terms of literacy, if we're purely speaking about the traditional Muhammad, there's no reason to believe or to think in the first place.
Say that again. There's no reason to believe that
he was illiterate in the first place.
What strong evidence do we know that he was illiterate? I'm not confident to say Prophet Muhammad was. What evidence do you have to say that you're confident enough to say that Muhammad was literate?
Let's do it like this, right? If we just start on a level of was he literate or illiterate, like we don't know. Let's just start on that.
Okay.
Basis. I'm get you to mute your mic. Please. Mute your mic. That feedback is crazy. So, let's see. Let's start off with the first story of Muhammad is to do with is the Iqra narrative, right? Read in the name of your Lord, etc., etc., etc. No, I'll do one better for you. I will do one better. Let's stop sharing that screen. Let's share this screen instead. Let's go to an actual something. Oh, it's not going to be Iqra, is it? It's going to be Read. Silly me. Read. Do. 466. Oh my God. That's a lot. What the hell? What's going on here? Watercolor? What the hell do you need? There we go. What page is this? Come on. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Cool. All right. So it's like a basic something, right? Okay. Cool. So Gabriel brought him the command of God. He came to me, said the apostle of God, while I was asleep, and with a coverlet of with a coverlet of brocade whereon was some writing, and said, "Read." I said, "What shall I read?" He pressed, and then he said, "Read." I said, "What shall I read?" He pressed me again and said, "What shall I read?" He pressed me again, blah, 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 read. I said, "What shall I read?" And da, 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 da. And he started to read in the name of the Lord who created. Cool. So if we look at that right there, right? And we asked ourselves the question, this is supposedly an angel. The angel Gabriel came to Muhammad, and the very first command he gave him was to read. And he had with him some type of material, a coverlet with writing on it. Clearly, one would assume an angel has come to a person and have commanded him to read because he has a writing for him to read. And then afterwards, Muhammad started to read and he read. So it's like already, if I didn't know anything, I would say this person was literate. Then it goes on further on in this whole revelation to say, you know, read, thy Lord is the most beneficent who taught by the pen, taught that which they did not know. So again, we have all of this, literacy themes running through this very first revelation, with Gabriel telling him to read, giving him something with writing on to read, and talking about a pen as well. I would thought, if I didn't know anything, whether I'm agnostic to the fact whether he could read or not, I would say these are clear indications that this person could read.
It's showing that he must have been what you're reading is showing that obviously the person must be able to read or something. But I'm still not. Why do I think I'm not confident that Muhammad could read? Is it because that he wrote it on animal skin? Is it because he wrote it, a lot of the Quran comes from memorization and recitation, and they tend to write things down a bit later.
That's the propaganda you've been fed. If you read any book in academia, whether this Quran has signs of orality, meaning that it was orally produced, or does it have signs of it being written down, you'll find that scholars are clearly saying that this clearly shows signs of it being a written document rather than an oral document.
So you think that as soon as he got you think that Muhammad, as soon as he got the first revelation, he wrote it down instantly, like, yeah, I'm writing it down. He had the animal skin and the pen at hand.
I think that the story of Muhammad is just that, a story. And we have to start going to the actual history of what really took place. And the evidence that we do have is that these particular writings, or these surahs, are clearly composed via writing, not orally produced.
I like Callum. I like your thirst and your willingness to study and scholarship. But you see that, why do you think like the region of where all of this comes from, Arabia, they don't even talk about this, or this history that you go into, like Arabia and Yemen and Oman and Kuwait. I mean, they just like, yo, Muhammad wrote after on animal skins, and I don't know. They give another version that you know that is different to
Yeah,
what you're saying.
they may give an indoctrinated
Why do
version.
you think that? What? Go on.
So it depends on what type of Muslim you're
What's the
talking to.
purpose?
So, for
The main,
example,
yeah, but why would the average mainstream? Why would they do that? What you just said.
because that is a certain period of time within inside of the history of writing about Muhammad, it was beneficial to say that he was illiterate, or yeah, it was beneficial for them to say he was illiterate. That's number one. And number two, the majority of these people don't understand the Arabic language, and they were confused by the term ummi, and the way that they've translated it is to do with being illiterate, and so therefore Muhammad is an illiterate prophet, versus what it actually means he is a Gentile prophet, or somebody who is sent to a Gentile nation. That's what it really means. But unfortunately, people don't understand the language, and they've made up something, and now they have to just hold on to it.
Yo, Callum, you
Yeah.
see the title apostle, yeah?
Hmm.
Um, was this office in function in the time of Caleb and Abraham
Yes.
in the Habasha Empire?
Yes.
So what is that off? So technically would be in function today, because the timeline regarding Christianity is not too far from us. Correct?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
So Christianity is like 2,000 years old. The
Mhm.
time of Abraham is roughly what 1,500 years old.
Mhm.
Not really, but you know what I mean, the time of the Quran. So because you're Muhammad's an apostle, so that means that office would have been in function in other regions or whatever. So
Correct.
you're saying that was in the Habashi Empire. So what is that title? What's that name? And is that being used
An,
today?
an apostle
Yeah, in Ge'ez.
in Ge'ez.
Yeah. What is the word
The
apostle?
word is the Hawariyun. We have
That's
Hawariyun, and we
disciples.
also have Rasul.
No, but in the Ge'ez people, like today, if I go to the Eastern Orthodox Church, I'm sure this office should still be in existence, or if not, they should have at least an oral tradition or something with a name of this office. That's what I'm trying to say. What is that name?
Of an apostle.
Yes, in the
Depending on what
Habashi.
language you go to, you'll find it as Sheila. You find there's various different
That's
names.
Hebrew.
Yeah, you find it's very, very different, various different names. And
But the
Jelos,
Ge'ez,
find
you
them
see how you
various
got
different.
Nagus for king? What would be the one for apostle
For apostle,
in
I
Ge'ez?
need I need to go back and check, but one of the words for apostle in Ga'iz, but doesn't translate directly as apostle, is Hawariyun.
In the Quran, that would translate as disciples.
Disciples, yeah, but it has a different meaning. But yeah,
Yeah, I get what you mean, but that means the author of the Quran never described himself as a Hawariyun. We
no, because
don't.
that's talking about okay. So you have the very first apostles, yeah, or
Yeah.
disciple who are technically the
Remember,
disciples.
Jesus was a Rasul in the Islamic literature, so I
Yeah.
doubt the Hawariyun will predate Rasul. But go on.
Okay, so you have those, yeah, which are like a separate case. The 12, that's like a separate case, and then afterwards you have the other apostles that were sent out. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's it. You just have apostles. Cool. Like,
But
what's your point? What's your question?
basically, is the your Muhammad, for it
Hmm.
to kind of make sense, we would need that because he's Ethiopian Abyssinian, right? So we would need the Ge'ez equivalent of his title, because we know Rasul, we know this is Arabic, even if you want to attach it to South Arabian, fair play. But your argument is Abyssinian Muhammad. Do you even yeah, what was it? Your Abyssinian. What did you say in one of your videos? Yeah, Abyssinian scholar or something. Don't even call you Islamic or whatever. So I want to hear an Abyssinian title for this Muhammad, because you're trying to apply king to Nagus. You applied an Abyssinian title. I mean, you're trying to apply king to Abraham. You applied an Abyssinian title to Abraham, which is Nagus. So you should have the same capability with your Muhammad.
So you want me to go into the? I guess what you're really asking me is to go into the Ethiopian dictionary and find out what the word for apostle is in the
Technically,
Ethiopian language, right?
yeah, technically, to attest to your
That's really
claim.
what you're asking in a long way. And
No,
sometimes
not really,
I'm going to ask
because
you, like, maybe write down your questions first, yeah, formulate it, and then
that's one
you
of the
know,
questions. It's not my whole. It's not the whole summary of my argument. So that is a question to be put forth. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Check the dictionary and all of that. Yeah.
dictionary definition, you have one which is la'ak or la'uk. Yeah, la'ak or la'uk.
Was this ever in office of the time of Abraham? Like, have we got any inscriptions, or how we got the Abba Kassim one? Have we got any attestation to this office? And will it be that office of your Muhammad? What's your Muhammad called? You say, some Gregorian Christos. This whatever. I've never heard of that guy before, but him Gregorian, whatever nickname you said that they applied to him, that's not even his name again. What was his office in the Habashi Empire? And was it an apostle?
Yeah, it was an apostle.
He was an apostle. Fine.
He was an apostle.
Yeah, and now you see the procedures of how to be an apostle. Yeah, he's one is not like what's his name, the one Paul. His one's not like Paul, correct?
What do you mean?
How he had an encounter with Jesus on the way to Damascus and all these things. He's one. He was crowned it, as shall I say, how your terminologies. He was crowned it by another man. He never came across Jesus, right?
He had different experiences with apostles and dreams and visions and
Okay.
other people
Oh.
clarifying who he was, etc. Go on.
Okay. So then what is the difference from that and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the cave being told to read Ikra, Ikra? Why can't that narrative be for real? And your one with the dreams and all of these visions, why is that more validation
They're not
than that one?
They're not historical. They're just hagiography. So it's basically just founding myths, man. It's founding myths. That's what's going on there.
So in their timeline, so them having their dreams and like, because apostles, Christian bishops and all, they do have these kind of things going on. So whatever the dreams, and it's just myth that these apostles were having and visions. It never really occurred.
They could have these dreams, they could, but I'm just saying that these things are usually founding myths. They're founding myths.
Fine, fair play. But your Muhammad Gregorius, I'm even butchering his name there. Did he have a vision and dream?
Yeah, they all did, man. Like, this is just in Christianity.
But they take it literal. They actually said they saw Jesus.
Yeah, in Christianity, you will understand that a lot of these saints, martyrs, prophets, Christians, not Christians, apostles, bishops, they all have these spiritual encounters.
So then why can't Muhammad have one?
I'm going to tell you these things are like historical. I'm not going to say that to you. I can say it's reported that they have these encounters. And the same way I'm going to tell you that it's reported that Muhammad had these encounters. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it can't be proven as part of history. That's all.
But Jesus raising from the dead can't be
Be
proved
proved as
in
part of
history.
history.
I beg your pardon?
It cannot be proven as part of history.
But you've
History
got
doesn't deal with
people,
the supernatural.
you've got I don't want to even be saying people's names, but you've got people, big YouTubers, yeah, that do your works, critique just like you, but they said they believe Jesus rose from the dead without a shadow of a doubt, and
Yeah,
they
that's
have an
belief.
atheistic approach on many things, but they believe Jesus rose from the dead,
Yeah,
and
but that's
that's
a faith. That's faith based, right? It's very much so faith based. Anybody that says that Jesus rose from the dead, right? It's a faith based statement. It could be true, it could be false, right? But it's faith based. It's not based
Yeah,
upon
I
history.
hear you. If you're
History does not
categorizing it,
deal
if
with
you're
that.
being critical about the situation, then of course you're correct. But if we're not critiquing the situation, yeah, if we're not critiquing, there is evidence to the situation. People that it's not to say it's far-fetched that he rose from the dead, but these stories do occur, these things do happen. So as much as you're saying faith-based, we like there's some people in deep in the Amazon in South America, the Olmec days, I know they could raise someone back from the dead, bro. So I'm like there's a testimony accounts in this world we live in that
It's
people can say that,
That's
yeah,
cool.
so and
I'm
so.
not saying that it can or cannot happen. I'm just simply saying history, the method, the
Yeah, no,
mechanic,
I hear
the
you,
mechanisms that we use in history does not deal with the supernatural. So we
no,
cannot
I hear
prove that
you,
one way or the other. Like
but that's
miracles.
Western
Hold
academia,
on.
you have to make that clear.
Okay, Western academia, like wherever I'm dealing with, then is Western academia.
Yeah,
We can prove that in terms of miracles and raising from the dead. All these things here, we cannot prove it. That's not part of history. It's supernatural. Okay. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna go and keep it open for you guys. Let me just
yeah,
go
yeah.
to this question real quickly because I'm hungry. Callum, I have a question which is confusing me. Was the Arabic Quran used in Yemen by Abraha or was it developed later? That's a very, 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 very good question. I would say the honest answer is we don't know, or I don't know, whichever way you want to spin that. I would say that personally, I think that the Quran is posthumous, meaning it was gathered after the death of the historical Muhammad, and it was redacted, put together, edited as a piece of literature, and it was read out inside of the church, um, to commemorate him, and people would read his literature that he had produced. Now, in terms of it being propagated throughout the Arabian Empire, I think it's quite possible that when he went preaching, when he went, visiting these various different churches or establishing these various different churches, or wherever he had to go to actually orate and speak, it is quite possible that he did read out some of his work aloud. And it's quite possible that his laws were widely distributed amongst the jurists, the people who needed to know the law and enact the law. Quite possibly that was spread out. But was it used widely? I would say personally, I would say no, because this was, the Quran was constructed after the death of Muhammad. So no, it wouldn't have been in that sense. Okay, so I'm going to close my camera and mic, but it's all open. Musa, if you want to speak your Sufi stuff, I can. If you want to talk whatever, please do. I'm in the background. Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Oh, what, you Sufi? Peace, by the way.
Sufi. Yeah. I was playing around with the Sufi because I believe that the Sufism was the last. I believed it was the only thing that could tie modern and ancient Africa together, because there's writings that say Sufism goes back to ancient Egypt.
All right.
Tahuti, Idris Shah, a character called Idris Shah, and another character called
What's Idris Shah's timeline?
hold on. There's another character called Shuarandi.
Or these Asians?
Yeah, it's not just Asian. It's not just Asians. There's the Shuarandi. There is Idris Shah.
He's Persian. Shah's Persian.
Hold on. Yeah, but there's others that came from all over the. There's Dal Nun al Mizri of the Nubian in Egypt.
Okay. Yeah. He's actually if anything, I think he's the first Sufi.
Yeah, well done. I remember I had this conversation with you, and I mentioned
is it?
I told you how important he is. Yeah.
No, did we? Oh no! What, have I spoken to you before? Yeah.
Yes, you have.
Oh,
I'm the one and that was the one that was drilling Dal Nun. I said, look into Dal Nun, how powerful that character was.
Yeah. No, I done my homework on him a few months back still.
Yeah.
No, but I've always known about him, but why I done homework on him is because I'm not fully saying it, but I don't know fully for a fact, but I believe he was black, innit? He was African, innit?
He was without shadow of a doubt, he was Nubian. Without shadow of a doubt.
That's what made me look into it. But previously, I've always known about him because the Naqshbandi Sufi order, they praise him a lot. But it's like, not to say because he's not black, I didn't want to look into it. But you know how it is, man. You know how it is in life. So
I mean, one thing we can confidently say, without a shadow of a doubt, he was Nubian, of the Nubian tribe. If you go to Egypt today, obviously they still meet at his grave, and the Nubians the Nubian people in Aswan and all that, they still speak about him today.
Why I didn't want to research about him too much before is because in the Naqshbandi Sufi order, they actually believe he's Dul Nun, like in the Quran. So I thought, no, BS, man. I'm not even.
But why do you like? Do you not think he's as good as they say him?
No, he's definitely the GOAT. He's definitely a great man in his ways, isn't it? I won't knock off his thing, you know. And me, I have a little soft spot for the Sufi side anyway. That, you know what I mean? I kind of grew up on it, but more Salafi. But I'm aware.
If you look into early Islamic writers, Sufi writers and intellects, they're all
Salafi-minded people.
No, but not all of them. There's a branch of Sufis stretching from the Moors in Andalusia all the way to Egypt.
When I mean Salafi, I don't mean them like a group. I mean like the school of thought, like the mindset, like not even the school of thought, not madhab literally, but the way.
I hear you, but there's Ibn. I can quote to you enough of them. Ibn Arabi. Ibn Arabi. Yeah, there's many Sufis. Ibn Masara.
Masara.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
There was many. There was over in Andalusia.
I'll be real with you. The ones I'm more just about of the Sufi thing is the Tijani, like West Africa, like Sheikh Ahmed Bamba. Them man there. When it comes to Sufism, I like learning the African one more time, innit? Even though Sufism, it branches everywhere. We got it in Malaysia, India, everywhere. So there's different orders because the great Sufi is one that's been in all orders. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a baby in the Sufi thing, so
but check this.
I'm starting home first. You know what I mean?
Check this. What I'm about to say to you. Yeah, check what I'm about to say to you. If you go up to the average Sufi, basic Sufi, they're going to tell you that Sufism started with Muhammad and
Of course,
Ali.
yeah, of course.
That's what they'll say to you. Muhammad and Ali. Muhammad and Ali. That's what
Ali's
they'll
the
say.
goal. Ali's the goal in it.
All right, but check this.
I don't want to
Check
talk
this though.
too much. I don't
But
want to
listen,
talk too
there's
much,
more.
but there's a specific reason why
Yeah, but listen, there's
Sufis
more.
connect themselves with Imam Ali. If you know, then you
All right,
know,
but
innit?
there's more.
I'm
Right,
still a
I'm with
baby,
you. I'm
innit?
with
So,
you. I'm with you. But there's more to the story. If you go a little bit further, and you start listening to the early Islamic Sufi thinkers and scholars and intellects, if you keep looking, they will reveal to you Sufism originated in Egypt, and it goes back to the Egyptian god Thoth, Tahuti, Hermes, Trismegistus. If you keep looking, they would admit to you, then the Muslim Sufi mystics will admit to you themselves. It goes back to Hermes, Tahuti, Thoth, because many people thought that.
I think those Sufis who would say that is Western thinking minded people. I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm definitely not saying. I'm definitely not saying you're.
I'm talking about.
I'm definitely not saying you're wrong.
They existed years ago before the West had the power they have today. The Sufi things I'm talking about, some of them are coming as early as the 10th century.
I'm definitely not saying you're wrong. I'm definitely not even gonna dare. But what I need to emphasize is that they trace it back to Prophet Muhammad, but definitely Ali. If you're Sufi training or whatever, if you're what do you call it, your ijaza, if it's not reaching Ali, then your Sufi whatever is a bit dodgy. You know what I'm saying? But your link has to go to Ali. He's the gate. What do they call it in Sufi? They call him the Bab. He's the gate.
Yeah, but that's for those who they're limited. They would go as far back as Muhammad and Ali because that's as far as they can recall.
That's what I'm saying. The ones who would say to Trismegistus would be from West.
For those who understand deeper, and they'll tell you that the line of successive spiritual thinkers is about mysticism and mystic thinking, and they will tell you that the line of mystic successive of sages goes back even further to Tahuti.
I agree with that.
Hold on. To Tahuti, Thoth, the Lord of Learning, also known as Hermes, Trismegistus, 3 times great. Also, the Tahuti is both the Lord of Learning, scholarship, writing, spells, magic, divine utterances, the occult, astrology, astronomy, medicine. All of these things belong, secret societies, they all belong to Tahuti Thoth. He's the father of all of that. He's center. And everybody else that comes out of that are apprentices and are disciples of him. So it comes down through the mystic teachings and the occult trickles down from Tahuti in Egypt.
But it expands. It expands through the students. So there's definitely some teachings
it comes
that
from
you
certain
find.
Jews. It comes through certain Jews and their mystic orders. Then it comes through certain Christian and their mystic ways. And then it finds itself to Islam and Muhammad and Ali and that. But the Muslim would probably, it goes back to Muhammad and Ali.
No, but you know what you've just done though?
Because there's a proverb that the Sufis say. And they say Sufism is the wine that came before the grape. Many people only have the grape, but they don't know the wine that was drank before.
Yeah. No, but what do you call it? You see Tahuti, yeah? His teachings, he may have taught a certain wisdom that was expanded by his students. So there's certain teachings in all these sciences you were saying certain other teachings may not go back to him, but may go back to a student of him. You know what I'm saying? Because
It's the principles that,
according to Islam, he's Idris. So
yeah,
are
I
you
know.
technically
And
saying
according to
Idris is
according to
responsible
the
for
Bible,
all
he's
of
also
these?
Enoch.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and according to the
And
Bible, he's Enoch. In the Quran, he's
and
Idris, and in the Bible, he's Enoch. But he's the
yeah,
father of he's the father of that. He's the father of that. That's why it's called Enochian magic. Tahuti's the father of that wisdom. There was none greater. There was none. There wasn't. Since the principle stays the same, because it's about universal principles that don't change. The principle, the maxim, is the same. No matter where you go on the
yeah.
planet Earth, the principle, the maxim is the
No, I
same.
hear you still.
That the blueprint don't change.
Yeah,
As long as you get the blueprint right, you can play with it the way you want to, because the
yeah,
principle is what you need to master. Once you master the principle, then it allows you for, certain elaborations. But the principle doesn't change. That's why it's called universal. You know, you go into Sufism, you go deep, you start stepping into the universal mind and all that type of high intellectual enlightened science. That's where you start getting into all of that, the universal mind. The bog standard non-Sufi Muslim is afraid of that type of knowledge, and they'd either see it as shirk, or you're an apostate, or your thinking is going outside the folds of systematic Islam. That's why a lot of the Muslims, a lot of standard Muslims, they kill Sufis or they ostracize them. They're looked upon with suspicion because of
no,
their
some
high
Sufis,
intellect.
no, I can't lie though, some Sufis are dodgy. They are. You've got the ones that you've got the
Yeah,
clean-hearted ones that you
yeah,
can
but
find some of these
I'm with you.
teachings. Wait, let me
I'm
talk.
with you.
Let me land. So some of these Sufis, you can find some of their teachings that in ancient Egypt, cool, but they're not out here saying that that they're God, or that. And furthermore, you have Sufis that worship Prophet Muhammad, not worship him, but the way they show too much reverence for him is shirk. So you do have some dodgy Sufis out here. At the end of the day, what we do find in mainstream Islam with the connection with ancient Egypt is Amun, the hidden netter in it,
I
the
got you.
hidden force in it, that thing that, and we end our prayers with Amin. So that is the connection. So if that Sufi order is teaching anything like that, and whatever can correlate, then I hear what you're saying. But if they're showing reverence to, like, let's first say, for example, Ptah. If they're showing more reverence to Ptah than Amun, then that Sufi order's a bit, you get me? But Ptah and Amun's technically the same. So let's say Amun and Ra. Yeah, even though they're the same, Amun, if I'm not wrong, he's not birthed like Ra. Ra's birthed. He's come out from the primordial waters.
Let me
If you know
interject.
what I'm saying, he's birthed.
Let me interject. When you're dealing with you're going too far. When you're dealing with Sufism, you have to keep it in alignment.
Go on, with who?
Sufism, when it goes back into the ancient past, you're not
Yeah,
going to
go on.
get any other deity. I'm not saying that Amun is not concurrent through Abrahamic world. I'm not saying that, because Amun is. But when you're dealing with Sufism, you're not dealing with any other deity / principle other than Tahuti. I'm not leading you anywhere
No.
else in
When I said example, so the example, let me put context to my example. Amun, Allah, Ptah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is, but I can't, because technically Fatah, and the opener, the victor, that's one of Allah's names. So I can't even, let's not even go there. But basically,
I don't
what
have.
I'm trying to say is, cool. Prophet Muhammad Haru or an Asar. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I get what you're doing, but there's no scholarship. I'm trying to be organized.
No, Sufis do not, yo, bro. There's Sufis out here that technically, like, if you're not careful, they basically worship the Prophet. I've seen it with
Yeah,
my
but
own eyes. My own
yeah, but okay,
ears have not
cool.
deceived me.
I can't.
Like, I hear.
I hear you. I'm not disputing that, but I can't control what other people do. I'm just only
You
going
know what I'm
by.
saying? No, but they will tell
I'm
you.
only going by seeds,
They will move
learned
like their
people.
Sufi is the Sufi, and you can't beat. Like each Sufi moves like their Sufi's the best. I don't even get them.
Those people need to still control their ego. I'm not getting into that.
Like
What
each
I'm trying to
Sufi
get
will
to,
move like their orders better than that one. That's why I
you
don't
know,
like me. That's why I take my time with it. Like, cause to be frank, as much as I'm saying I'm a baby in it, I'm being for real. I'm a baby in it, but I kind of yo, trust me, the Sufi, but it's really with West Africa. But it's not for me here to delve in, and that there's some teachings you actually have to put respect on it, and it's not for the public like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
because
you have to have what is foundation is the 5 pillars and the 6 articles of faith. You have to know Sunnah Shari. You have to start. These are the groundation. You have to study the basics of Islam, the Sirah, everything. Then once you have like a good, then you can delve and little treads into the Sufi world. But if you ain't really got the basic understanding of like the 5 pillars and the 6 articles, like this is what they emphasize on, because there's a wisdom into it as well. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but this is
Like
what
they
I'm trying
won't
to say
even
to you.
try to teach you if you're not learning these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
this is what I'm trying to say to you. There's Islam and its orthodoxy, and there's
yeah, it's
Sufism.
definitely in its orthodoxy. Definitely.
There's Sufi. Okay, look, let me take it like this. Have you seen it? Have you seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah. Go on.
The first one.
Yeah, obviously everyone has.
A Sufi. I want you to go with a real Sufi.
Yeah, I know. He's like Morpheus.
All right, a real Sufi is like Morpheus, and he's gonna have one pill in one hand and the other pill in the other hand, and he's gonna say to you, "Listen, I ain't trying to mess you around, innit? You can either take this pill and be initiated into a Sufi order, and you can see how far the tunnel goes in Sufism, going past Muhammad all the way back to Tahuti, Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, or you can take this other pill in my hand
But it goes past him
and
though.
go back to
Oh
being a
yeah. Sorry. It
basic
goes
dog standard
past.
Muslim, going to
Hey,
pray
listen to
Friday Juma
Musa.
prayer, pray fives, and going home. And that's it. You don't need to know nothing about Sufism. The doors of Sufism and all that is a myth.
It goes past Idris. It goes all the way
I'm
back
with
to
you.
Adam.
So yes. So hold on with the reasoning.
Adam
Go
in
on.
Egypt would be technically Atum.
Okay, so hold on with that thought right there. Can you see the analogy I've given you? So a Sufi is not going to look for you. You're going to look for a Sufi because you're seeking. A Sufi is a seeker. So watch this. You can be a Muslim for your entire life, do the basic things of Islam, innit? Take Shahada, pray 5 times a day, give zakah, fast in the month of Ramadan, perform Hajj, do the basic things of Islam, read Quran, basic, go to mosque, you go Friday Juma prayer, and you don't need to know nothing about Sufi.
But there's people out here that don't do none of that and they learn Sufism. That don't make sense.
All right, so watch this. Watch this. Then there's some people who are born to a Sufi family. Thus, they have it in their bloodline. Their parents were Sufi, so they just
that don't mean nothing, because Noah's Ark, Sufi teaching 101, I'm telling you right now. That don't mean nothing,
right,
bloodline.
Unless
you have a specific role to be like the sheikh to lead that people, not the Tom, Dick, and Harry in the family, just because you're related. No, the one that's actually got a role to play, not a mini role, or no, that role, then yeah, you're right.
Right, right. So all I'm trying to say to you is that the average Muslim knows nothing about Sufism,
They're
and
not meant to.
you
It's
know
not meant to be like that.
whatever it is that they know is erroneous or flawed because
No, you can't say that.
they wasn't initiated.
Now you're wrong. Because I promise you, if you wanna go to Gambia and learn from the sheikhs, if you wanna be told
Yes,
about the 333 shuyuk, yeah, and all them kind
I'm
of
with you.
teachings
I'm
there,
with
yeah.
you. I'm saying the average.
If
Remember, I said to
you
you
have
the
to learn the fight, you
average.
have to be praying 5 times a day.
I
Standard.
got you, but I'm saying to you, I said to you
Senegal,
the average
Gambia.
Muslim.
I've got people
I
that's
know. I'm
coming
with
back
you.
from there and got stories to tell me. And
I
I'm
hear
telling
you. I
you,
hear you.
if you
I
are
hear you.
not praying 5 times a day, unless you're one of them guys with the dreadlocks, what do they call them groups, man?
The
I forgot what they
Murids.
call.
The Murids.
Yeah, unless you're one of them ninjas, yeah, cool. But if you're actually like, yeah, you're one of us. Like, yeah, you're actually one of us. Like, yeah,
You
you
miss.
have to learn the basics. You do.
Akani. I'm not this. Akani. I'm not disputing what you're saying. You're missing what I'm trying to tell
Oh,
you.
yeah, Ghana's got
The
one of the oldest
average,
mosques, by the way. In West Africa, we got one of the oldest.
just like the average Christian, just like the average Christian. There's 2.2 billion Christians. The average Christian is not a mystic. The average Christian is a bog standard Christian, goes to church on Sunday,
No,
prays to Jesus,
of
goes
course.
home.
Everyone can't be
The
a
average
mystic, you know.
Muslim, there's
That's
1.9
dangerous.
billion. There's
The
1.9
world
billion
could blow up.
Muslims. Yeah. So there's 1.9 billion Muslims. The average Muslim doesn't even entertain certain of these
No, but you
mystical.
can't say they're erroneous because they have
I'm
Quran,
not
so
there,
they're
but I'm trying to
upon
say,
luck.
hold on, got to follow what I'm trying to say to you. Since
Mm-hmm.
they don't know anything about it, there's like probably 5% of them that practice it. I'm talking about the 95% that don't know nothing about Sufism, never even read a Sufi book. They don't
But
know
what does the
anything.
Quran
They
say?
never got no
That
first
Allah
hand.
revealed the Quran in blatantly, I'm paraphrasing. So he revealed it blatantly and he revealed the secret bits. But those who are erroneous go to the secret bits, bro. The ones who are upon truth believe in both. This is what I'm paraphrasing is I'm not just freestyling off my head. I'm
Cool.
literally
I'm fine.
picturing what I've
I'm
been
not trying to
told
wrestle.
about the
I'm not trying to
Sufi
wrestle. I'm not
teaching
trying
and
to.
how they
Akani, I'm not
think,
trying to
and
wrestle with that.
you know what I'm saying,
I
like
got you.
live, like
Cool.
not internet,
I
like
hear you.
face to
I'm not trying to
face.
wrestle. But I'm not trying. That's not my position. I'm not trying to wrestle with
So
that. Cool. Got you.
and they
What
got
I'm trying to say to you.
deep knowledge, you know, like they go deep. So
I'm
you have
with
to
you. I'm with
know
you.
the
I'm with you.
both.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. What I'm trying to say to you, there's a small percent of people that are even willing to get their head around that type of information in the Islamic world. And the average person doesn't know anything about it. And probably if they spoke about it, they would speak, I don't know, from a point of inexperience. They can't tell you in any kind of confident way what Sufis get up to because they've never been initiated, they've never been a practitioner of the exercise. They can't speak on what they don't know. I mean, they can, but they would speak from a point of inexperience and error. Is what I'm trying to say to you. That's all I'm trying to get to. I'm not disputing what the basics are and I'm not trying to do with it. I'm just trying to say to you, in all these groups, even in Judaism, there'll be a small percentage of people that actually take up the
Hey, what do
tradition
you call
of
it?
command.
Let Pan Mulatto say something. I just clocked on. He's just been Pan Mulatto, you good, yeah?
Peace, and thanks for passing me the mic. And big up to the whole panel. It'll be brief. My question is, and really this is a question I never got a straight answer from out of the black Muslims. Why won't you all condemn Muhammad for marrying Aisha and consummating his marriage to Maisha when she was 9 years old?
Obviously, me, I
Akani,
don't
do you
go
want
with
to take
that
that one?
narrative, innit? Obviously, I've spoken to you in the past. You know I think you should know my stance, but I do not go with that narrative at all.
Brother,
I do not agree with that, bro.
and I respect you for condemning the act, but how can you deny the irrefutable evidence that Muhammad engaged in PDF file Italy? Even the Arabians admit to this.
It's
How
not
can you
really
say?
irrefutable.
Well,
It
with all
is
due respect,
refutable.
well, let's see if we can agree on at least one fact. Do you agree that the majority of Saudi Arabians, where Islam was created, do you agree that the majority of Saudi Arabians acknowledge that Muhammad consummated his marriage to Aisha when she was 9?
Oh yeah, majority of the Muslim world believe that,
Exactly. So how can you? And when I say this, I'm not trying to insult you.
but not
How
all
can you?
Muslims.
Well, brother, allow me to complete the sentence. How can you, as a non-Arabian, tell Arabians about what their prophet did? They are saying he did it.
But
Why do you
Islam's
believe
not
this?
Arabian. It's not an Arabian religion. The majority of Muslims are Malaysians. You got more. You got more Malaysians. You got
No, I
more
didn't say that, brother.
Listen, that whole
Uh,
region. There's
Yeah,
more
that's a
Muslims
deflection,
than the
brother.
Arabs.
But I didn't say anything
but
about Malaysians. I said the majority of Saudi Arabians. Let's stay
Yeah, but the
focused. The
Muslim world,
majority.
they're like the minority though. So what does that
I
matter?
didn't even mention them. I said the majority of Saudi Arabians, where Muhammad himself was from, they acknowledge
He's not
that.
Saudi Arabian.
Okay, where was Muhammad from? Let's have a
He
dialogue.
was from the Arabian Peninsula, but he's not a Saud. He's
Okay,
not from the Saud family.
just so I'm clear, the indigenous land where Muhammad was born at, what nation is that in today?
The people, well, originally, no one ruled it like you
No,
see
I'm
the
asking
Saud.
today, where is that land at? Where is it?
It's in the Hijaz. It's all of that region. But what you have to
Arabia.
understand is, yeah,
Exactly. So let's
except,
have a dialogue, brother. You're trying to
but
deflect,
listen, you see,
brother. You're trying to
listen,
deflect,
brother, wait.
brother.
Muhammad was an Arab, bro.
Hey,
Listen,
thank you, thank you.
you see,
Okay,
except for
so
the
brother, hold on, brother.
Ethiopian
You see the
Empire.
brother on the hold on, brother. You see the other brother on the panel is understanding what I'm saying, even though
No,
he
we
might
don't
not
need to.
agree.
No, hey, Mulatto, you know we've spoken before, so we don't need to do comparisons. And you see the other brother, I'm talking to you in a humble way.
Yeah, but brother,
Like
you're trying to
really,
deflect, brother.
we did. We know, we
You
don't.
take 20
We've
seconds,
not
I'll
left
go
on
next,
good
just so we
terms.
don't interrupt each other. Take your 20 seconds, I'll go next. Go ahead.
So basically, except for the Habashi people, the Yemeni people, and the Islamic Empire, you had no Arabian local ruling a whole region like that. I just wanted to say that in it. Just wanted to emphasize on that. But the Saudi Arabians, they're literally the small bit of the whole Islamic world. But yeah, go on. What are you saying? I
Yeah,
don't
brother,
agree with that in it. I
you
don't
missed the
care what they
complete
think. It
question,
don't
brother.
bother me in it.
You want to take another 20 seconds, just so we don't cut each other off? You want to take another 20 seconds?
No, say what you gotta say, man.
Yes, the point is this: the Arabians, the people that are the same exact ethnicity as Muhammad, they acknowledge that Muhammad married a 5-year-old and consummated that marriage to that 5-year-old when she was 9 years old. My question to you is, how can you, as a non-Arabian, tell the Arabians about their own history?
So you see when you say the same ethnicity, you do know that the Arabian people is a mixed culture. That's a fact. You know that's standard fact. Could you quickly interject and say something quickly? Then I carry on.
Yes, what you said was a non
Do
sequitur.
you agree with me? Yes or no? That the Arabian identity is not one monologue thing. It's actually a mixture
Did
of
you hear my
people.
response? I said that was a non sequitur. Did you hear my
What do you mean?
question?
What do you mean non sequitur? What do you
Yes,
mean?
I'm glad you asked that. And I'll restate my question and then I'll mute up and you take your 20 seconds. The question is verbatim: will you acknowledge that the Arabians of Saudi Arabia, the people that are the same exact ethnicity as Muhammad,
Bro,
they
I
have.
just said to you, you
Hold
do
on,
know
brother.
that the Arabian
Hold on,
identity
brother.
is a mixed culture, it's a mixed
All right, take your
identity.
20 seconds. I'll go next, just so we don't interrupt each other. Go ahead.
The Arabian identity, if you can't agree with me on that, then I'm not going to further the convo because it's a convo of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? We
Can I?
don't need to be acting, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Can I?
telling you that the Arabian identity is not one thing like how you got let's say for example South Africa. You can't even say African because even Africa you got North Africans who are different from the, you know what I mean? It's the same principle. Arabians is not one color of people. You've got three types. You've got
Yes.
Arab al-Ariba, you've got Arab al-Mustariba, and you've got Arab al-Mutariba.
And
Arab
now, what ethnicity
al-Ariba.
was Muhammad?
Wait,
Just so we
I'm
clear,
gonna
Can I?
give me another 20 seconds because don't.
brother. You're taking too much
You're
time. Let's
willing to
have a
give
dialogue.
20
Let's go back and
seconds.
forth.
You're willing to give 20 seconds, so let me
No,
give me
brother, I'm
another
not
20
willing to give it
seconds.
anymore, brother. Let's go
No,
one step
no,
at a
no,
time,
because
Can I?
brother.
Can I just
I
put
think
Brother,
something?
you
you're
know where this is
deflecting.
going.
In order
Well,
in
So
let
you
the
order
got
to
other
have
brother
this,
Arab
get
al
in.
Ariba and you got
Hold on,
Arab
let the
al
other brother get in, brother.
Mustariba
You're talking
and
too
you
much
got
and you're
Arab al
deflecting, brother.
Mutariba. The Arab al
Okay,
Ariba is the pure Arab.
Musa, go ahead, brother.
Arab al
okay.
Musa, go
Mustariba
ahead.
is the mixed Arab. The
To,
Arab
to,
al
to,
Mutariba, no, the Arab al Mustariba is the
Musa, just
Arab that
jump in, brother, because he's
migrated
going to
to
talk
the
forever if you
Arabian
don't jump in,
Peninsula.
brother. You
The
got to
Arab
jump
all
al
right.
in.
Mutariba is the mixed Arab. The
All
Prophet
right.
Muhammad comes from the Arab al Mustariba. So
Okay.
when you're talking of Arabs, what are you talking about? He comes
All
from
right. To keep.
Arabized people. He's not
All
even
right. To keep.
Arab. So when you're saying
All right.
ethnic group, you're really just chatting rubbish.
All right. To
Respectfully
keep. To
speaking.
keep. To keep things simple without going too deep. The land of Arabia is the land of Arabs, and
Bro, what
Muhammad
I
is from
said is key.
Muhammad
Hey,
is.
bro. What I said is
Akani,
key.
have some discipline,
What
brother.
I
You're
said,
cutting off everyone.
I
You're
don't know
cutting
if you're
everyone off,
Muslim or not,
brother.
but
Cool.
if
Brother, you're cutting
this,
everyone off,
I
brother.
don't know if they've
Akani,
not
I'm
Hold on,
not
are you
disputing.
afraid? Are you afraid of what we have to say?
Hey, bro.
Are you afraid
Hey,
of what we have to
Musa.
say?
Wait.
Are
One
you afraid
second.
of what we have to say?
One at a time. One at a
Musa,
time. I'm not
Exactly. One at a
Akani,
time. Let Musa go. Let Musa
Akani, I'm
go.
not disputing. I'm not
thank you.
disputing
No, just make it clear
your very.
because
I'm
this
not
guy
disputing your. I'm
actually
not
thinks he's
disputing your
hitting home.
definition. I'm not disputing, Akani. I'm not disputing your definition. Your very detailed definition. But to keep things simple,
It's not even a
if you
deep
was to
thing or
ask
not. This
if
is
you was
just
to
a
ask
fact.
anybody about Arabs, they're from Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula, the land of Arabia, and Muhammad was an Arab. He wasn't Greek. He wasn't Persian. He wasn't
And he didn't
from
look like the
China.
Sauds as
Muhammad
well. So
isn't.
when he's saying that the comparison he's doing is like ignorant, it's like I shouldn't even be entertaining him. And plus, that me and him, we've spoken in the past, he's rude. So in
I got
all
you, but
reality,
we're
I
not going to
should
hold
not
on to.
even
We're not
be
holding. Hold on. We're not going to
entertaining him.
hold on to that. We're not going to hold on to that
You
for
know what I
this.
mean?
For
So
what is. We're not going to hold on to that for what he's trying to put across, which I don't really know what he's trying to put across because I haven't heard him out yet. But for argument's sake, Muhammad is from the land of Arabia, and he is an Arab. He's not Greek. He's not Chinese. He's not from Japan.
Exactly.
Muhammad
Exactly.
is from Arabia. Cool. I've got your
Exactly.
definition, very detailed, very sophisticated. But Muhammad is from the land of Arabia, and he is an
Exactly.
Arab. If you ask the average person, he's an Arab. He's not Greek.
So
He's not
what's the
Japanese.
difference
So
from
the
the
point
Arab
is,
in Yemen, the black
Without
Arab
hold on,
going
from
brother.
too
You're trying to
Hadramaut?
detailed,
deflect, brother.
Is
You're
there
trying to
a
deflect.
difference from the
The point
Arab from
is,
Hadramaut
I hear you, Akani.
and the Arab from South?
We're not trying to go so deep right now.
Because
We
you
just want
got
to
this
hear.
guy
I
oh
want to
no,
saying
hear
no,
from
no,
him.
anything
Like,
and
no,
he's
let
no.
hitting
his got to
Let's
point.
have a
say.
dialogue.
Shut
Let's have
up,
the dialogue.
like
I
when a
got you,
female
Akani, but
running.
we're not trying to
Hey
go deep. We're
Musa,
just trying to give a basic
no,
answer
because
to what he
Musa,
asked.
because no, Musa, listen, Musa, I
Brother,
let
we
you
see you
speak,
running,
Musa.
brother. We see you
Respect. I
running,
don't.
Akani.
To
We
be
see you
frank, I don't
running.
really want to talk to you, Mulatto,
Yeah,
because
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
you're
the
Yeah,
not.
but we're not
audience
gonna
now.
hold. What
You're
We're talking to the
we
annoying.
got to
You're
audience.
learn to
annoying.
we got to learn to get past
Yeah, Musa.
grievances.
I
This
actually
Yeah,
let
today
you
you're
is
speak,
being
so
today.
let me
emotional,
speak.
Last
Akani.
So
the last
Akani,
time
you're
you
being
spoke to him,
emotional.
the last time
Musa,
you
I
spoke to him,
let
that
you
was
land.
last
Let me
time. Today
speak
is
now.
today. What we want to hear what he's got to say today. Forget the last time. Not the
Thank
Exactly.
you,
whole
Musa.
Exactly.
grudges
Musa.
Exactly.
and
Hey,
all kind
Musa.
of.
Brother,
Musa.
you're panicking. Akani, you're
Musa.
panicking. You're
I'm
panicking.
Musa.
listening.
The point is
Thank
this.
you.
The
What's
point
the
is this.
difference
You,
from
as
the
an
Arab
Ashanti, you
from
cannot tell the
Hadramaut
Arabians about their
Yeah,
and the
culture.
Arab
but
from
you
the
see,
South
Akani,
family? What's the difference?
that's a very detailed question, but we're not going into that right now. The
No, but
basic thing
he
is that
literally said the same ethnic as the Sauds. Bro,
Exactly.
Prophet Muhammad, if
yeah, but
anything, he's
he doesn't
closer
know.
to the ones in
He
Hadramaut.
hasn't got. Yeah, maybe his scholarship in Arabia is not as far as yours, but
Listen,
we know
forget
the
It
how
is
answer to
though.
thorough of
that
It
mine
is
or
question.
though.
not.
It is.
Muhammad is
Listen,
Arab.
act. Listen, bro, listen. He's saying he's comparing them to the Saud ethnic group. Bro, Prophet Muhammad's closer to the Arabs from Hadramaut. So when he's putting his
Cool.
question, it's an
I'm not disputing
ignorant
that.
question. I shouldn't be entertaining him.
Yeah, but
I
we
don't know
still got to let.
why he's getting excited.
But still, you got to let the man. You got to let the man land. You got to let him land. What is he
No,
Yeah,
I'll
trying to
let
build
him
he's
on?
land, but
afraid of. He's
I'm done
afraid.
with him.
He's
We
afraid.
know that
I'm done
Yeah.
Muhammad.
with
So
We
him.
mute up. You're
know.
We
done.
Okay,
can
cool,
talk in it.
Mute up.
cool. I
Yes.
heard you. But Muhammad is still an Arab. Whatever way we want to look at it,
Exactly.
he's an Arab. He's not Greek.
Yes.
He's not
Exactly.
Chinese. He's not Japanese.
Exactly.
He's not from
Exactly.
New Zealand. He's
Did
not
I
Native.
Exactly.
not know that?
Muhammad is
I'm
not
not.
Native
So the point
American.
is
Musa,
this.
I don't know what you're
That's
entertaining.
a
I
deflection,
have no
brother.
clue what
The
Let's
you're
hear.
point
Let
is
him
this.
land
entertaining.
though. Let me hear
I'm not
him. Let's hear him.
The
disputing that.
point is this. I know
So
you're
what are
shook
you
right now. You're shook up.
entertaining, Musa? Hey,
Yes, the point is
Mulatto, we're
this.
finished long
The
time
point is
ago. I'm
this.
really chatting to Musa.
Yeah, you're
Musa, I
cooked,
don't know
brother.
what you're
I'm talking to
entertaining.
the
I'm
I'm
in
Yeah, but
talking to
wait,
the
agreement.
audience
let the man,
now, brother.
let Pan Mulatto ask his question. Pan Mulatto, what is it you
No,
want
no,
to
I'm
say?
done with
Now
him.
we've
I'm done.
established that
Yeah,
you have
he's
a
If he
different
wants
cooked.
to
narrative.
call it
He's cooked.
running, whatever, I just don't want to entertain him. I just don't want to
Yeah, but
entertain
just
him.
wait 1 second.
Yeah,
We have to be
this is for
bold.
the
We have to be
audience
bold
now.
enough
This
to
is
hear.
for the
We have to
audience.
be bold enough to hear questions and be
Exactly.
confident enough to
Exactly.
answer it. What is it,
He's
Pamelato? What is it
afraid,
you
but
want to say?
Musa, the point is this.
What, yeah,
Musa, the point is
okay, got
this.
you. What do you want to
The
say?
point is this.
Musa,
To the
Musa,
to
hey,
the
Musa, are you
to the
Muslim?
black Muslims, are you
Hold
still
on,
Musa,
hold on.
afraid?
Let him land. Let
Musa,
him land.
are
Let me
you
ask you a
Muslim?
question. Wait 1 second.
Musa,
Let
are
me
you
hear him.
Muslim?
Let me wait 1 second. 1 second.
No, no,
Let
I'm
me
just
hear him.
asking. It's just a quick question. Are you Muslim?
No, I'm a more. I don't even. I'm not even bogged down by all that Islamic. I'm a
No, no, no.
more.
I hear
But
that. I hear that. No, no. Yeah, you lot wrap
you
it up.
know,
You lot talk. I'm listening, man. I'm listening.
All right,
let me hear him.
yeah, this is
What
the
is it you're
point.
trying?
And
Pamelato,
look,
what are you trying to get at?
yes, and this is the point. And you see how triggered the black Muslims get by this truth.
I got you. But
The
here,
question is,
ask your question.
I know, brother, mute up, brother. The point is this: you black Muslims must condemn Muhammad for committing PDF earlier against Aisha. She was 9 years old when the savage Muhammad committed that atrocity and those atrocities against that young child. Muhammad victimized Aisha. Aisha was a victim. You black Muslims, you have so much self-hate that you will bend down and put your ass in the air to an Arabian god. When you have your own African religions, you have your own indigenous African religions. To the brother Akani, this black African man is from Ghana. He is of the Ashanti people. Why doesn't he practice an Ashanti religion? The Ashanti religions are dying off because the Ashanti, like Akani, is worshiping an Arabian god that told him that the Arabian language is the holy language. Why doesn't Akani and the other African Muslims have the self-esteem to realize that their languages are holy? The indigenous African languages are holy. You black Muslims need to increase your self-esteem and condemn Muhammad and drop that Islam. Really, drop it. Pick up the
Pamelato,
indigenous African
Pamelato,
religions.
can I respond to that?
Yes, peace, brother.
Um, Obviously, colonialism and imperialism, slavery has done whatever
Yes.
damage it's done across the world. To whether you're Aborigine in Australia, whether you're Maori in New Zealand, whether you're African in Africa, whether you're Native American in North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. For me to try to ask Akani that question is like me going to Mexico and asking the native Mexicans why they're not still worshiping the Aztec gods. I can't I can't turn back 500 years and
But most
make.
it's about
Hold
moving
on, hold
forward,
on, hold
brother.
on,
It's about moving
hold on.
forward.
Hold on,
So,
yeah, I know
so we
moving forward,
must
but it's
ask each other these questions.
even when it comes, even when it comes to moving forward, it's difficult. I would like to
Exactly, but
see.
we still have to
I
do
would
it
like
because
to go to. I would like to go to Mexico and still see native
exactly, brother.
Mexicans worshiping the Aztec gods, or
Exactly,
seeing Brazilian
exactly,
natives still worshiping the
exactly.
Brazilian gods,
And
or see
quick
Africans
point,
still
one quick
worshiping the
point,
African
Musa,
gods.
one
I
quick
would,
point. Well, hold on, one quick point,
but
brother. One quick point, brother,
this.
please.
Go on,
Brother, please, one quick point. Are you
go on.
aware that amongst the Mexicans, they are reviving the Aztec religion?
Yeah.
Even today, hold on, brother.
Yeah,
Even today, amongst the Black Americans, you have a revival of voodoo and hoodoo. This is a fact. A matter of fact,
yeah.
I'm a
New
practitioner
Orleans and
of
that.
the hoodoo, brother. I'm a practitioner of the hoodoo tradition that was created by descendants of your
Louisiana,
chattel slaves, brother. So yes, we must
Louisiana.
ask each other, why aren't we practicing our indigenous religions? Why do we pray to foreign gods? It's a very valid question, but go ahead, brother.
Okay, so it's no doubt it's a valid question, but to who is ready to embrace that question or go down that path, it's just like with anything. I gave an analogy earlier with a Morpheus type person, an archetype of a Morpheus type person. I can walk up to you, Pan Mulatto. I can have I've got two pills in my hand. One pill It's going to take you down a path of deep enlightenment, spirituality, etc., etc. It's going to open you up to what this world is all about. Or the other pill is going to help you remain closed, simple, box standard, and average. You can go and live your life, be shallow as you want to be, and use the phrase "what you don't know can't hurt you." You can just
And
live your life.
that's my
You
point,
can just live
brother.
your life.
Hold on. But
For me,
that's go ahead.
for me to go to anyone, post-colonialism, post-slavery, post-imperialism, whether I'm in Australia with the Aborigines, whether I'm in New Zealand with the
Musa,
Maoris, whether I'm in Africa, whether I'm in
Musa,
North
Hold
America,
on.
Central
But let's
South
not be so
America.
long-winded so we can respond to each other, though. Let's not
All
be so
right. So
long-winded.
anyone
Musa,
that's been,
Musa,
One quick point.
Musa. Yeah, well, let me
Brother.
ask Pan Mulatto something.
any native person that's been through what we've been through, for me to I can't guarantee a person's response.
Yeah, Musa, I
It's
heard your point. Let me respond, brother.
go
Musa,
on,
I heard your
go
point. Let me
on.
Pan
respond in 1
Mulatto,
second.
Pan Mulatto,
Connie, I heard you. Hold on,
Pan
brother. Let me
Mulatto.
respond to Musa,
Go on,
then
let
I'll
him
answer your
respond.
question.
Let
All right,
Pamela quickly
Yeah,
respond, and then I
yeah.
hear
Just have some
Connie
yeah.
decorum,
after.
brother. I'll answer your question. I had some decorum. And to the brother Musa, with all due respect, I agree with you that these foreign religions were, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but they are essentially the chains of colonization. The point is, as black men today, we have to make the decision to take off the chains of colonization. Islam is a chain of colonization. If you are a black Muslim, you are a colonized Negro. Now go ahead, Akani.
Musa. So you see, indigenously speaking for the Soninke and the Malinke people,
Yeah.
Allah is within their vocabulary. So when they say God, they would use the term Allah. The Dagomba in northern region of Ghana and Gonjas, when they're in reference to God, they Bore or something. But basically, when they're
Yeah.
all
Hausa.
uniting with when they're all uniting with different other tribes, they will use the term Allah. Are these people wrong?
Well.
No.
I'm not gonna.
This is for
I can't
Pamela. No,
hold on.
Musa.
I can't.
Musa. This is for Pamela.
Oh.
Yes, if they are, let me answer that, brother. If they are Muslim, they are definitely wrong, for sure. They need to practice their indigenous religions.
So what about the ones that's practicing the indigenous religions, but they still use the term Allah? Because you've got them too. What about them?
Now, you will have to show documentation that the term Allah is indigenous to their language. If
No,
it is
it's
not, they need
definitely
to drop.
through Islamic. It's definitely through Islamic
So, yes, they are wrong. Short
conquest.
answer, yes, they are wrong. Yes, they need to bring back
So
their
the ones that the
indigenous terminology.
practitioners. So you in America and that guy and you got the practitioners, yeah, that they're in their huts, and they've not ate for like 2 weeks and they're praying. They use the term Allah, but then they've got like indigenous. It's got the You can trace literally this indigenous roots, but they're using different terminologies. Yeah, these people, are they wrong?
Did you hear my response? I said they need to
Yeah.
revive their indigenous terminology
All right.
for the
So
Most
cool.
High. Yes.
So cool. So now let's go into what ether system. I don't even know why I'm saying ether. What system do you practice?
Hoodoo.
Hoodoo. What is the deities, the names you use?
Our ancestors' names.
No. What is
Yes.
so you're
I'll
so
give
you're
you an
gonna so you
example.
so
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
so when
And I
thunder
won't.
comes, what
I'm trying
name
to
will you
answer your
call?
question, brother.
Go on.
Yes. For the deities that we worship our actual ancestors. For instance, my actual grandmother is a deity in Hoodoo. My actual father, my actual mother, my actual grandfather, they are deities in Hoodoo.
But your style is not found in the Akan system. So
Hoodoo
when
is
you're
not an
telling me
Akan
to go
religion.
back,
Hoodoo is not an
what
Akan religion. You should ask me
All right,
about our
okay.
culture.
So when you're telling me to go back
Yes.
to my system, what
Yes.
do
Yes.
you mean?
The
Because
Ashanti.
if you
I'm trying to
don't
answer your
know,
question, brother. I'm trying to
wait,
answer your
I've
question.
not landed. I've not
Yes.
landed.
Go back to the
I've not landed.
indigenous
I've
Akan
not landed.
religion,
I've
brother.
not landed. I was gonna say something.
All
I
right.
was
Go
gonna
ahead,
you
brother.
butted in. So you're telling me to go back to my
Yes.
ancestral religion, yeah?
Exactly. Exactly.
But what if I was to tell you bits of my ancestral religion was influenced, some bits of it has Islamic influence, and there's completely nothing you can do about it.
Let me respond. Watch how brief my response
You've
is.
got literally non-Muslims doing
I'm
it.
trying to
So
respond. Would you
go
like
on,
a response, brother? Or would you
respond.
like to make excuses
No,
to booty clap
respond.
for the
Go on. No,
Arabians?
go on. Respond.
Yes. Instead of booty clapping for the Arabians, pick up your
Bro,
traditional
you
Ashanti
know you're
religion.
diverting. No, bro, you've diverted. I've entertained a
You
little
didn't you
something
didn't hear my
right
question.
now.
You didn't hear my response. What I said was, and it was one sentence. Instead of booty clapping for the Arabians, pick up your Ashanti indigenous religion, study it, learn it, and practice it, preserve it.
But what if I was to tell you I've learned it and I
Then why don't you
understand it?
practice it?
I technically do.
No, you practice Islam, brother, respectfully.
Within the elements of Islam, I find in my Khan tradition.
So
And that's
what you're
not for me
saying
to
is
reveal over
you
here.
will make. So why not drop Islam then?
I beg your pardon?
Checkmate.
I,
why not?
I
Why
beg
not
your
drop
pardon. I didn't
Islam?
hear you. You broke up. What's the checkmate? I didn't hear you. Beg your pardon?
Why not drop Islam? Why not drop Islam?
The day I drop Islam is the day that you see that triangle thing you see on the Ashanti Kings. They have to drop that too, because that's got Quranic scripture in that. So they need to drop that talisman they got around their
So
neck,
you waiting for
and I'll
another
drop
man,
Islam.
basically. You waiting for another
If they
man.
drop the talisman on their neck, I'll drop Islam.
So you waiting for another man so you can practice your culture.
Bro, if
It's a
they drop
shame.
the talisman
It's a
of the
shame.
listen, if they drop that foreign thing on their neck, I will drop this foreign religion because
Is
it's foreign.
is Arabic a foreign? Can I ask you a question? Is
That
Arabic a holy
triangle thing,
language?
the Ashanti Kings, the talismans they wear, is got Quran scripture in it. Foreign.
No, we heard you. No, I'm asking.
Why are
Is
they? And they
Arabic a
deal with abossum. They deal with nananom. Like, let me not go
yes,
into it.
yes.
Like, and they got
All right.
Quran.
I'm asking you, brother, as a
Shut up,
Muslim,
man. You
even
don't
though
know
you're
nothing
African,
about my people,
is
man.
Arabic a
Deal with
holy language?
your system is fake. You can't even find that in
All right,
Yoruba
right. Listen, let
system.
me let me,
But
let
is
me,
It's
let me
Arabic
put
a
fake.
you.
holy
Man's
language?
worshipping your
Hold
grandma.
on, Musa, hold on, please. You
What
gotta stay
what
out of it for a
ethos, what
second.
ether practitioner
Now,
worship their
I'm asking
grandma?
a question. Is Arabic
I
a
want to
holy
hear
language?
Shonga. I want to hear Ogun. I want to hear them things there. Man's telling me grandma, what,
Okay.
you made that up. You made that up. And
All
then you're
right.
going to come tell
I'm
me to
asking, is
drop what?
Arabic a holy language,
Something
brother?
that can be traced. And your thing can't be. What kind of.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, yo, I entertain this
Akani,
guy enough, man. I
Akani,
entertain him enough. He's
is Arabic
clearly
a holy
your
language, brother?
POW.
Checkmate.
You're a descendant of a
Checkmate.
So
POW.
I'm
let me
asking,
let
is
me let me
Arabic?
ask
Allow it, man.
let me
Hold
ask.
on,
Okay,
Musa.
listen.
Like, allow it,
Let me ask
man.
the panel.
Hold on,
Let
but
me ask the
Musa, you
panel.
gotta
So
fall back for a second because we're getting somewhere. Now, Akani,
I
is
hear
Arabic a
you.
holy
I'm
language?
not going off topic. I'm not going off topic. I want to add
I
something to what you're saying, to what
I
you're
know, but
both
brother,
saying.
you gotta let him die on this hill. Is Arabic a holy
Okay.
language, Akani? Checkmate. As a Muslim, I'm asking you because you're African and a Muslim. Is Arabic your holy language?
Why did you check me out? Why did you check me? What's the
Checkmate.
checkmate for? What's the
Is
checkmate for?
Arabic your holy language? Yes or no, brother?
A Kwapim is a holy language. No, I'm
Checkmate.
trying to shit. Yeah,
Is
of
yeah,
course,
he's cooked. Okay, so
of
why don't you
course,
have the
man.
self-esteem to realize that your Akan tongue is the holy language, you dumb nigga?
I
All right, so
see
all
what.
right, okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
have an
yeah, yeah.
answer with
No,
him.
let him
I got
answer.
him.
Let him answer.
Musa, I got him.
Let,
Musa, I got
let him
him.
answer.
So you
Go ahead.
see, in Akan language, if I tell you
Yes.
to listen, how do you say it?
Well, you're Akan, so we would like to hear you say it, brother.
All right, it's tier. Tier in
Uh-huh.
tree means listen. Tier no,
Exactly.
like it's you listen. Yeah. You
Yes,
see
sir.
this
All
word
right.
tier in Arabic, it means to obey. Now, I don't want to go into too detail, but you have a lot of Akan words
So
you
why isn't
find
the
in
Akan
the
language
Arabic
your holy language then?
language.
So why isn't
So
the
if
Akan
you're
language your
saying
holy
Akan's
language?
language holy, thank you. You're still, you get me.
No, I'm
You've
asking
got.
why
I can
isn't it?
find Akan words in the Quran, like in Arabic. It's
So
not a
why is
big deal.
Arabic your holy language then? Checkmate.
What are you
Checkmate.
talking about?
Why is
Why are
Arabic
you
your
saying
holy language?
checkmate? That's a bit
Can I
mean
add
to you.
something to the
Stop that,
panel?
man.
Can I add
Stop that.
something to the panel?
Yeah.
Can I
Why
add
is a
something to the
foreign
panel?
language your holy language?
Like, what you
Checkmate.
saying, Musa, man? Go and chat, man. Chat.
Yeah, you're
Go.
cooked.
Say
Go
something,
ahead,
man.
Let
He's
Musa.
me add
boring,
Go ahead,
man.
something
He's
Musa.
to the
boring, man.
panel.
He's boring.
No, but it's the questions. The conversation is very interesting. The
No,
questions that
you
are
say
being
some.
asked is
You
power.
say
Is
some questions as well, man. Like even
yeah.
within this convo,
Now let
But
Musa
say
finish
something in
Yeah.
it.
because he's telling the
So
truth right
listen.
now. He knows you're
So
cooked
listen.
right now. Go ahead, Musa.
Yeah, but
Tell
listen,
him he's
listen,
cooked.
listen. The conversation is very interesting. The questions that are being raised are very powerful, but you must understand that we're still recovering. Pamelato, even yourself, we're still recovering from the horrors of our past, isn't it?
Trust me,
Yeah.
I don't know why he's
Our
moving
Holocaust,
strong.
our Holocaust has
Yes.
not come to an end where you can just click your fingers and undo 500 years of oppression and suppression.
Yeah. But we don't
And
have to practice foreign
hold on, hold
religions
on,
though,
hold on,
right?
hold on, hold on. Let me land.
Let's get to that part though, brother.
And hold on, and torment and brutality and
Exactly.
westernization and Christianization and Islamization and going to their schools and being indoctrinated under their
Exactly.
curriculum.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I can't just click my fingers and walk up to some native and demand you need to return back to your Asian God. Like, where do I
Hold on,
begin?
but why not though?
So
Why can't you?
Hey Musa, when
because
I've
because
No,
spoken
to
let
about
him
people
human
answer that, brother,
sacrifice,
because
to answer
Musa's
your
brain is
question
when
working.
I've
Your
to
brain
spoken
is
answer your
not
like
question,
working.
previously
Pamelato.
about human
Yeah, go ahead, Musa.
sacrifice,
Go ahead, Musa.
this
To
guy,
answer
hey
your question,
Musa,
Pamela, to answer your question, Pamelato, people are at different. The people are at different places in their
Yeah, you can
life.
say it. His
Some
brain is
people,
not
hold on.
working. I know what you mean.
Some people are further. Some people are more
Go ahead,
behind.
go ahead, go ahead, go
Some
ahead,
people,
go ahead.
some people develop the psychological. Some people develop the psychological toughness. Some people don't. Some people's hold on. Some people's cultures, indigenous culture, is more intact, survived the Middle
mm-hmm,
Passage and the
mm-hmm.
transatlantic
You know
Atlantic
what I'm
slave trade
saying?
better
And then
than
one thing I'll let
others.
you know, you see us
Some
Akans.
people's
Hey
hold on,
Musa, let me interject quickly.
some people's
Musa,
family held onto traditions and some people's family didn't. So you have
hey
to bear that in
Musa,
mind.
hey Musa,
Everybody's
and
not
Musa, that's one things about us Akans we pride ourselves in, that our culture is still intact.
Then why are
Did
you
you know
Muslim, brother?
I can
Why are
go
you Muslim then?
800 years. I
So why
can
are you
trace my
Muslim?
ancestors. Shut up,
I
Why do you
Musa.
understand.
practice
I
an
understand the
Arabian
question. I
Can
religion
I
if your
understand.
speak?
culture
Hey,
is
I
hey,
understand.
intact?
bro. Hey, do you like me, Pan? Whatever, mulatto. You love me, bro. Leave me
If your
alone.
culture is
Leave me alone.
intact,
Hey, bro. Leave
if
me
your
alone.
culture is intact,
Leave me alone,
why do you
bro.
practice an
Leave me
Arabian
alone, bro.
religion?
Leave me alone, bro.
Do you
I hear the
love the
question.
Leave me
Arabians?
alone,
You
man.
put your ass in the air for
Leave me
Arabians.
alone, man.
Yeah,
Come
You
on,
pray
bro. I
with
don't
your
want to go
ass in
through
the
my
I
air.
name,
understand
bro.
the question.
Leave
Yeah,
me
you're
alone, bro.
asking.
You
Yeah,
pray
but
with your ass in the
Hey,
air,
Musa.
brother, for
Hey,
Arabians.
Musa.
I hear
Hey,
Arabians told you to
Pamelato.
pray with your ass
hey,
in the air.
Musa.
I hear the tough
Musa, hey,
Pamelato. I
mulatto,
hear the
you won.
tough
Hey, mulatto,
question
you won. You
that
won. You
you're
won. You
pushing.
won. You won. You won. You won. Mulatto, you
Yeah,
won. Hey,
I
Musa.
know I
I
won, brother,
understand.
but why don't you want to
Hey, you
win,
won. You
brother?
won.
Listen, Pamelato.
Hey,
I understand
Musa.
the tough
Musa.
question that you're
Hey, Musa.
asking, but
Hey,
it's you
listening.
can't expect everyone to give you the same answer because
Hey,
different
Musa.
people are at different places, different speeds, different. Some people are
I
ahead,
know
Musa.
some
he's
people are
slow, but he
behind,
got to
some
speed
people
up,
are
Hey,
brother.
Musa.
I know
Musa.
he's slow, but he
Musa.
got to speed up, brother. As a black
Musa.
man,
You
he
can't
got to
Hey,
demand.
stand up.
Musa.
But
I'm
He got to
genuinely
speed
done.
up.
Hey, mulatto.
Pamelato, you're
Mulatto.
not
I'm
the
genuinely
Almighty.
done with you
You
still.
can't click your fingers like Thanos and expect
Hey, I'm due
other
to cut as
people.
well because this is like, I swear
Brother,
this
it been over
I ain't
500
got
years. How
I
much more
don't want
time
this
do niggas
energy,
Yes,
need?
to be
but
honest.
Pamelato,
How
you
much
cannot
more time do
You
niggas
know, to
need,
be honest,
brother?
I
Pamelato,
don't wanna like
you
I've
cannot
only
be
got this
Matter of fact,
energy
Pamelato.
for
it
like
been over 1,000 years,
Pamelato,
man.
hey
Listen to
Musa.
me.
His
Listen to
people
me,
got
Pamelato.
enslaved by
I ain't got
Arabians.
energy for this.
But
I've got
Pamelato, you're
only
moving.
energy for
Pamelato,
Callum
you're
like this
moving
technically. Not
too
not like that,
fast.
but
You
yeah,
cannot be
it's
Pamelato. You cannot be like Thanos. Walk around with a gauntlet glove, click your fingers, and expect people to perform the way you want them to perform,
No,
Pamela.
we
It's
gotta
not really.
perform in the
You
way
know
that's
what you're
best for
doing.
our
It's not.
children, brother.
hey
You know
What
Musa.
do
what
you
you're doing.
think,
It's not being
Musa? Hold
realistic.
on. How you think African children look at grown African men praying to an Arabian god? You think they respect you?
Be that what it,
Musa,
They
leave
be
it,
that what
watching
man.
it
grown
be.
African
Musa,
men
Mami
say
Water,
that in
Mami Water,
Arabian
Mami
language,
Water,
a foreign
Safari,
language, is a holy language.
Musa, leave it. Mami Water's foreign.
My
He don't
response
even
to what you
know.
said, yeah,
He
be
don't
that
even
what
know
it,
how
be that what
foreign
it
Mami
may.
Water is. Let me not even go into that. Hey, bro,
Yeah, but
Musa,
Pamelato, be that what you said,
Musa.
yeah, to respond to what you said, yeah, be that what it may, yeah, Pamelato, you have to be realistic. You
Hey,
cannot walk
Musa.
around the
I know.
planet
Hey, Musa, why are you entertaining
like
bullshit,
Thanos
bro? I don't get
and
it.
click your fingers like you got a
Hey,
gauntlet glove
Musa,
and just
it's
make
not. I
things
don't know why
change
you're
automatic.
repeating it like I'm meant to change in the next 50 years. I'm gonna be
Yeah, but
Muslim
I'm
till
not.
I
I'm
You
saying,
need
die.
to
listen,
change
Pamelato.
now,
I'm gonna
brother.
be. So why are
You
you
should be
saying it's
ashamed
gonna
to be
take time
Muslim.
for? I'm gonna
As an
be Muslim
African, you
till I
should be
die.
ashamed to be Muslim. You
You
should be
can't, you
Hey,
ashamed to
can't,
be Muslim.
hey,
Pamelato, you
As
Musa,
can't
an
just say,
African.
Pamelato, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Musa,
He
No,
made
I'm
a
saying
conscious
it,
Musa.
brother.
It's
decision
not
to
I've said
about
be,
it more
people.
than once.
he made
Musa,
a decision
it's
to
not
be
about
what he,
people clicking
what he
finger
is.
and taking time, bro. You whatever you're saying, it's not about no time phase or whatever. I'm dying Muslim. That's
So you'll
standard
be a coon the
procedure.
rest of your
That's
life.
fine.
Damn.
That's
Bro,
fine. No one
You'll
can't
be
what
tell
a
the next
he
coon
man
the
what to
don't
rest of your
do.
know,
life.
what he don't know is how foreign certain gods of like even certain there's cults, there's them voodoo gods, voodoo people that beef each other.
Islam
Just
is a
because of
cult.
certain gods
I
foreign.
hear you. I
Just
hear you.
did
I hear
you
you. I
know?
hear you,
Did you
Akani. I
know
hear you, Akani.
when
Islam
certain
is a
airway
cult.
I hear
practitioners
you. I hear
are
Islam
you.
is a
going in their
cult.
spiritual
I
mode?
hear you.
You do know they're screaming Hausa language. They're not
Your
even
answer is
speaking Ewe.
just
They're
as
speaking a
justified based
language
on
of a
your
Muslim
experience.
people. They're using Muslim jinns. How about that? Ewe practitioners. Ewe practitioners using Islamic jinns. Why? Why are they
Well,
touching Islamic
Akani,
stuff?
your answer is
Leave it.
just as justified.
Leave it. Leave it.
It's just as
He's
justified.
voodoo, whatever. He made it up. But if you want to go to the land of Africa, they got dibbles and dabbles of Islamic things in it.
Got you. I
So
got
you
you.
need to keep your ignorant self quiet, mulatto. Remember, you are born from over there. Remember that. No offense, fam.
Why do you put your booty in the
Pamelato,
air for
Like,
an
no
Arabian god,
offense,
though?
bro. You
we got
are
different
born over there.
we got
Why you
different
put your booty in
experiences.
the
You got
air
the
for
Like,
an
American
I'm
Arabian
Pamelato, you
god,
got
close
the
to
though?
the
American
culture.
Respectfully.
Like, I'm very close.
Pamelato, you got the American experience. He's got the
Very
we got the
close.
European / African
Yes, but I'm
experiences.
just asking why he put his booty in the air for an Arabian god.
Bro,
Respectfully.
why are you
But
worshipping
He
your
prayed with his
grandma?
booty in the air.
Why are
your
you
questions are
He
worshipping your
prayed with his
grandma?
booty in the air.
Why are
He
you
prays with
worshipping
his
your
booty in the
grandma?
air.
They're not easy. These are
Why are
not
you
easy questions
worshipping
to
your
Keep it
answer.
grandma,
real.
bro? What is your
He prayed with
grandmom
his
done?
booty in the air,
What's
bro.
your grandmom done? What's your
He did.
grandmom done?
Let me answer
She's
that. Let me answer
dead,
that.
bro. Let her soul
Yours
rest
is
in
too.
peace.
You don't got dead family members?
R.I.P. You
You got dead
understand?
family members
It's
too. We all do.
R.I.P. for your grandma.
Muhammad is
She's
dead.
not
What's your point?
living. She
Muhammad is
can't do
dead. What's your point?
nothing.
Muhammad is dead. What's your
She
point?
Pamelato,
can't do. Hey yo, she can't do a
Muhammad is dead.
thing.
What's your point?
yeah. So
What can she
Pamelato, let
do?
me ask you something.
Your grandma can't
Yeah,
do
he's
nothing.
triggered.
Your
But
great
go ahead,
grandma
Musa.
can't do nothing.
I say Pamelato, let me ask you something. Pamelato.
Go to Shango. He
You're
might do
American. Listen,
something for you.
so listen, Pamelato.
Yes, he's mad because he prays with his booty in the air, so he's mad about that. But go ahead, brother.
Pamelato, you're part of the American experience.
Go to
Yes,
Shango.
yes,
Go
I'm
to Ogun.
American.
Go to them,
You're
man.
part of the American experience,
Go
yeah.
to
Yes, I'm
Obatala. Go
American.
to
Yes.
them,
They're
man. Your grandma can't
arguably
do
two of the
Look how
nada.
triggered he is.
Nada.
Listen.
I will go
Pamelato,
to bed nicely, knowing your grandma can't do nothing.
Got
Brother,
you.
you pray with your booty in the air today, brother.
Listen.
You alive and you pray with your
We
booty in the air.
have to,
Very confident.
You pray
Do
with your
you
booty in the
know
air,
who
brother. What
my
you tell me?
ancestors are?
You
Your
pray with your
grandma,
booty in
and
the
I
air.
don't even pray to them. Your
You
grandma
pray with your
can't do
booty in the air,
shit.
though, to an Arabian god.
You know who
let me
my
ask you something.
ancestors
You
are. Allow it, bro. And I don't even
you
pray or what. And
you pray
I
with your
know
booty in the
yo, you
air.
can't even utter their
You
name.
pray with
I
your
hear you,
booty in
And
the
what you
air
say about your grandma?
to an Arabian
What can
god.
she
Let me
do?
ask you something, Pamelato.
Yes,
You
Musa,
come
go ahead.
from the
Talk and go to a batala, man.
Yes, yes, brother.
you come from the American
Them man there.
experience,
Go
yeah?
to Australia.
And
You know what I mean? Orisha that can
America,
deal with
listen,
your situation.
Hold on, brother. You gotta let Akani twerk. He wants to
We got
twerk some more,
airway
so go
people
ahead.
yeah, but
Go ahead.
you're just like now you're just getting
talking
under each other's skin. I'm trying to keep it
Hausa in their
mature.
spiritual.
Now
Hey,
listen,
people's talking Hausa in their spiritual possessions. Why? Why are they talking
very good
Muslim
question. That's a
language?
very good question.
That's
But
for my Muslim people.
let me respond to
It's
let
a
me
very
ask
good point.
Yes,
I'm
Musa,
saying
go
that he
ahead.
got
Go
this
ahead,
prime
brother. Go ahead.
mulatto like he knows something. What do you know, bro? Shut up.
Hamalato, you have to be more
Peace.
you have to be more courteous. when you're talking to
Yes,
people.
yes.
Because
And Musa,
you
am I being
you come,
treated with courtesy? Can I ask you that?
right, but okay, but hold
Uh,
on, I don't know. I don't know. But let me say to you,
all right, go ahead.
you come from the you come from the American experience, yeah.
Yes, I'm American. Yes, I'm American.
And look, how many? What? There's how about 50 over 50? What 50 something states all over the United States?
50 states. Yes, 50
Yeah.
states.
And in every state, it's got its own little. As big as America is, in every state, it's
Yes,
all got its own
yes.
little story.
Now,
Some
Musa, let me
states,
respond right quick though. Hold
some
on. Let me
states,
respond with one
some
sentence.
states. Hold on, I'm
Musa,
building. I'm
hold on,
building. I'm
brother. Hold
building.
on. But you see, I get cut off every 10 seconds. So let me
No,
just
no,
say
but
one
I'm
sentence
building.
and I'll pass the mic.
You got to let me land. You got
Hold on,
Pamela.
Musa.
I'm gonna
But
let you. I'm gonna
Musa,
let
you
you
know
respond. You got
that
to let
he's
me
going to
land.
start interrupting again. So you got to let me get in
No,
right
you
quick.
won't. I'm just gonna gotta let me
Ah,
land
No, but
see,
because
you
I
got to let
told
me
you, he
get in right
likes
quick.
me
I'm
though,
trying to
Musa.
See,
present
look,
something to
you
you.
see,
He likes
I'm
look,
me.
trying
look,
to
look.
present something to
So,
you,
see,
Pamela.
Musa, if you would have
Because
let me just get in, I could have made my statement already. So let me just make one sentence, please. Now, Akani's mad because he prays with his booty in the air. Respectfully, he prays to an Arabian god and he puts his ass in the air and his face on the
I've
ground.
heard
He's
you.
literally
Bro,
I've
it's
face
heard
down,
you.
ass up
respectfully, so I
I've
don't
on
know
an
heard you,
why
but
you're
Arabian
trying to
god.
I'm
repeat
trying to get.
yourself.
He's
You're
face
saying
down, ass up
respectfully,
on an
align with
Arabian god.
me.
I'm
The
trying to
light
build
didn't
something. I'm trying to go
the light
beyond
didn't
that.
thunder twice.
We can't just
The
keep
light
dying in
didn't
the same.
thunder twice.
Pamela, we
Yeah,
can't
I
just
The
got
keep
you
light
dying
there.
in
didn't
the same
thunder
I got
ground.
you there.
twice.
And if
The
we're trying
light
to
didn't
build,
thunder twice. Musa, I
if we're
know
trying to
you're in the
build,
UK. The light
if
didn't
we're trying to
thunder
build.
twice, wallahi.
Pamela,
I
if we're
know
trying
you're
to
in the
build, yeah,
UK.
we have to be more
The light didn't
courteous and
thunder
we have to be more
Yes,
twice.
yes, brother.
respectful.
But
Trust
go
We're
me,
ahead,
not here
this
to
Musa.
light
go in
is
there. We're
talking
not
Go
here
ahead,
two
to
Musa.
go in there and
languages.
disrespect people and just because it makes us feel good. No. What I'm trying to say to you is that we all got our
Oh
experience.
man.
Now, you're from America. You have the American experience.
Yes, I'm
Remember,
American.
like, there's
Yes,
what, 50 something states, 54 states. And all these
exactly.
different states, they've all got their own, character. They've all got their
Yes,
own
yes, brother. Yes.
experience. Some states are more African or retain more African
Philly. If he ain't
spirituality
from
than,
Philly, I don't want to
than
hear it.
others. That's why.
If he
That's
ain't
why.
from
That's
Philly
why.
and Chicago, or just about
Listen.
Chicago,
That's
I don't want to
why.
hear it, blood.
That's why New
Musa,
Orleans.
he's triggered,
Listen.
bro. Musa, he's
Listen,
triggered. But go ahead,
because
Musa.
you went out of
Go ahead.
your
No, I'm not triggered.
you went out of your way to trigger
I'm
him,
just
and
finding it
that's
very
not
funny.
what we do here. You went out of your way to trigger him. But listen, some states, some places are more African than others
He
in
did go
America.
out his way, but I'm not triggered. But he went out his way. Definitely not.
Just like New Orleans has got an African tradition with
Exactly.
voodoo.
Exactly.
That Alabama,
Exactly.
that maybe a state like Alabama,
Yeah,
maybe a city
Alabama.
like
Yeah,
Alabama
Alabama. Yeah, them.
or Mississippi
What's
doesn't
that
have.
place, man? Mississippi.
Hold
Yeah,
on, listen.
yeah.
So just
They
maybe
don't
what they
play
have,
in
maybe
Mississippi. Mississippi,
what
they
they
don't
retain,
play. So if you
what they
ain't from
retain,
Mississippi, Philadelphia,
right?
like,
So what
yeah,
they
your
so
voodoo's
look at
cap, bro.
so listen to the
What's it?
example.
Southern Carolina, yo, it's cap.
All right. So listen to the example I'm giving to you. Just like I can't listen. Just like I can't go Camalato.
I don't want
That
to hear
okay?
New York. New
They
York ain't
practice
got
voodoo.
nothing going in there.
They're practicing voodoo in New Orleans. In the city of Philadelphia, it's got a high percentage of African American Muslims. I can't go to Philadelphia. Why are you African Americans in Philly Muslim? If you're not from Philly, you don't know
Nah,
the
but hey,
Philadelphia story.
Musa,
Hold on. If you're not from
Musa.
Philadelphia, Pamelato, then you don't know the Philadelphian experience and why the Philadelphians have an affinity with Islam. If you're not from the city of New Orleans, you don't know why the New Orleans have an affinity with voodoo. You cannot just walk up to someone, why are you this? Why are you
And
that? When you don't know their
Musa, I
stories, you
heard
don't
what
know
you
what
said.
part
Let
of
me
the world
respond, Musa. Musa, with
they
one
came. Go
sentence.
on.
Yes, with one sentence. You're making
Did you hear what I said?
excuses. You're making excuses for blacks to practice foreign religions. We got to come out of that spell, bro.
No,
Stop
Musa. Hey,
booty clapping
Musa.
for the
I don't. Hey,
Arabians.
Musa. I don't
Stop
want to
booty
hang around
clapping
you
for
Pamelato,
the
too much,
Arabians, bro.
bro. Musa.
You're not
Musa.
being
Being
sensible.
genuine, bro.
Hey, Musa. Hey, Musa. Hey,
Pamelato,
Pam. Let me make it easier
You're
for you.
not
Hey,
being
Musa.
sensible.
Hey, Musa.
I'm
Let me
listening. I'm
talk, bro.
listening.
Musa. Let me talk to you. Listen. You should pretty much get his stance already. Because bear in mind, what's your
Why do you booty
logo?
clap for the
What's your
Arabians, though?
name?
Why do you pray
What's
with your
your
ass in the
logo
air?
and what's your name?
Why do you
So
pray with your
I
ass in the air, though, brother?
so
Why
either
do you pray with your ass in the air, brother?
wait,
Respectfully.
I got
Pamelato,
Why do you
hey
pray
Musa,
with your
Musa,
ass in the air?
hey Musa, can
Your
you see
objective
But
is
why
what
do
meant
the
you
to
pray with your
understand,
ass
not
in
to.
the air, brother?
either you're gonna let
You're meant
me
to
deal
teach.
with
Why do
the
you pray
youth,
with your ass in the air, brother?
Musa,
Why do you pray with your ass
Pamelato,
in
you're
the
meant
air?
to teach. You're meant to teach, not
Musa.
I'm
I
trigger.
don't
teaching,
think he wants
brother.
to chat to
A
you, you
man
know.
should never have his ass in the air, brother. That's what I'm teaching. Why do you pray with your ass in the
Yeah,
air,
but
brother?
the way you're
Because
teaching,
I
the way
do.
you're
What's
teaching
wrong
us,
with it?
I'm teaching,
the
brother.
way
Hey,
A
you're
man
Musa,
should
the way,
never
the
have
way
his
you're,
ass
the
in
way
the
Musa,
you're
air,
teaching
brother.
Musa, you're
is
entertaining
Why do
some
you pray with your
convo
ass
like
in the
you're
air,
going
brother?
in philosophy talk. I don't get it, Musa. Listen, Musa. Wait,
All right,
because
but
wait,
why do you
cool.
pray with
he
your
hears
ass
you,
in the
bro.
air, brother?
Wait. Musa, wait, Musa,
Why do you
wait.
pray with your
Musa,
ass in
wait.
the air, brother?
Because I do.
Why do you? Oh my God! So you proud to be gay for Arabians? You
I'm not
You
proud to
got to
gay.
be
twerk
more
for
mature.
Arabians? You
Pamelato, you're
proud to
showing
booty
Hey,
clap for
Musa,
immaturity, though,
Arabians?
bro.
Musa. You're not saying
You proud to
anything
booty clap
like
for
I'm
Arabians?
respectfully speaking, Musa.
You
Wait.
proud to booty
Go
clap
on.
for
He wants to
Arabians,
just talk
brother?
to me. Let him talk to me. Go on.
Brother, you proud to booty clap for Arabians? What will your kids think? Respectfully, they see you with your ass in the air for an Arabian god when you got your own African gods that you won't worship.
Ah,
What
cool.
type of
So Pan
example does that
Mulatto,
set for
yeah?
the future
Pan
generations?
Mulatto. Musa, wait, cool.
Peace,
Pan
peace,
Mulatto. Do you want me to talk? Do you want
peace,
to have an interaction?
peace.
Mulatto, do you want to have an interaction?
Let's have a dialogue, my brother.
All right. So you see within this dialogue, can we lessen the ad hominems like pat arse in the air and that? Because where I'm from in the UK, we don't really, I don't know, in America that may be the norm, but when we say arse over here, it's a bit zesty talk.
So when
So
you go
can
to
we
the mosque,
lessen that?
no, I'm asking, when you go to the masjid,
No,
don't
no,
you
but
put your ass
before
in the
no,
air?
but can
When you
we
go to
have a
Juma, you put your
no,
ass in the air in
bro,
Juma.
bro, in Mulatto, it's clear you want
Yes.
to talk to me. Am I lying? Am I wrong?
Well, now I
You
was
want to
trying to
talk to
dialogue
me?
with Musa, but you kept
No,
interrupting.
no, but cool, pan.
Yes,
Musa's not Muslim. So when you're talking about Muslims, it's like you're
yes,
shadow
yes.
boxing. I'm the Muslim. So
Okay,
do
so
you
why
want
do
to
you have
talk
your
to
ass in
me?
the air in the
Do you want
mosque?
to talk to me?
Why do you pray
Or you
with
want
your
to talk
ass in
to
the air?
Musa?
I'm talking to you, brother. Why do you pray with your ass in the air in a
Listen,
masjid
I'm
to an
not
Arabian deity?
willing to entertain such conversation if
But
you're
why do
gonna
you
be
put your
talking
ass in
like
the air when you pray?
you.
God
If
can
you
hear you
can use
without your ass
other
being in the air.
words, then I don't mind. But when you're
All right.
talking like that,
Why do
I
you pray
can't
with your
lie.
booty in the air?
It's
Why do you pray with your
triggering, as
booty in
they
the air,
say.
brother? Why do you pray with your booty in
That's
the air?
bro. You can
God can
you
hear you
can.
without your ass being in the
Why
air,
do you
brother.
have to
Do you
talk like
realize
that
that?
for? Why
Don't you
we can have
realize
a
God
grown
can
up
hear you
convo?
without your ass being in the air? Do you realize that?
We can have a grown up convo, you know.
Let's have a dialogue as men. Don't you realize
Yeah,
God
but
can hear your prayers if you don't
can
got
you
your ass in
lessen
the
the
air?
zesty talk?
Brother,
Can
you're
you lessen
zesty
the
for having
zesty
your
talk?
ass in the air.
Because I don't get the zesty
Brother,
talk.
when you have your ass in the air, that's zesty. How you don't
But
realize
don't
that?
don't
When you go
fetish
to
priests
masjid, you got
don't
your
fetish
ass in the air
priests
with
put their
other
head on
men.
the ground as well. Haven't you
You
seen
got
that?
you face down, ass up with other
No,
men.
but are you willing to talk? Are you willing to have
Yeah,
a
let's have a
grown up
dialogue.
convo?
Why do you pray with your ass in the air?
But are you willing to have a grown up conversation?
I'm trying to have a dialogue now, brother. Why do you
No,
pray with
but
your
you're
ass in the
talking
air?
zesty. I don't want to talk zesty.
Having your ass in the air is zesty. How you don't
Then
realize that?
cool. Then I don't want to talk to you. You're talking
Oh, you're
zesty.
zesty. You was about to admit it. You was
I
about to
don't want
admit
to
it.
talk to you. Yeah,
Don't you
you
realize
won.
you don't have
You
to be
won. You
zesty
won.
forever?
Yeah. You won
But
everything. Yeah,
when
you
will
won.
you win? Stop putting your ass in the air. Have some decency, brother. Respectfully. Now the point is this: to all the black Muslims listening,
Hey, Musa.
Muhammad was a
Musa.
pedophile. You should
Musa.
condemn Muhammad immediately.
Musa.
You
I
must.
You
You
see, he's
must
a
condemn
fan though.
Muhammad
You see,
immediately.
my fan. He's been fanning for time. Like it is what
I'm
it is,
familiar.
isn't it?
I'm familiar to
Don't
him.
worry, he's gonna be. You're familiar with him though, innit? Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm
he's
familiar
been
with him.
following me, innit? Like it is what it is, innit? Let
I've
him wear
spoken
it
to.
out, then we can go back to our convo because you saw the energy before he come on. Like he just wants to. I've been like making him. You get me? Like he can't answer, innit? So he's gonna say the
All right,
booty
but
and
why do you pray
the
with your ass in the
9-year-old,
air
but
though? Why do you
it
pray
is
with
what
your
it
Pamelato,
is,
ass in
innit?
the air,
He
brother?
won. He won though. He won. He
Musa, what's
won.
going on, brother?
Pamelato,
Musa, what's happening?
Pamelato.
What's happening?
Can I ask you something?
Peace,
No, don't
King.
entertain it. Don't not
When
intervene with
you're,
me. Please.
yeah, Pamelato.
I genuinely don't want to like entertain him. I
Peace,
All
don't.
right.
King. I'm listening, Musa. What's happening?
So Pamelato,
Peace,
all you
King.
need, like, all I can say is this, isn't it? Different people have their experiences. They come from different places. They come from.
Yes,
They reach
yes.
different. They reach different conclusions.
But Musa, don't you realize our
And
ancestors did not pray with our ass in the air? Our
yeah, I
ancestors
know,
Hey,
but
didn't pray with
Musa,
their ass
don't
in the air,
entertain
brother.
it.
not everything.
Musa,
Listen.
Musa, keep it
Listen,
real, brother.
Musa,
Not everything.
Musa, at least
Not
keep it
everything.
real on
Not
that. Can you keep
everything.
it real on that?
Not everything that our not everything that our ancestors. Not everything that our ancestors was right.
Musa, you was
Not
just
everything
talking
that our
about
ancestors did was
Hold on,
Sufism.
right.
so Musa,
Musa,
Musa, you
bear
saying
in
it's
mind the
right to pray with
convo
your
we
ass in
had.
the air?
Musa,
Yeah, but
bear
not
in mind the
everything that
convo we had.
Musa,
Not
I'm
everything
asking.
that
Hold
Musa,
on,
just
Musa.
not
bear
I'm
in mind
asking.
everything.
the
Listen,
convo we had.
Pamelato.
So
Not
respect
Musa,
everything
I'm
that the
English
asking.
African
niggas.
did
Do
was
you not
correct.
just like
Like,
to
come
pray
on,
with your
man.
ass in
Like,
the air,
he ain't
brother?
got the
I know, but
Quran,
some
bro. Look how
yeah,
he's
but look,
talking.
Pamelato.
Ward,
You're
bro.
still not Pamelato. You're still not getting it. Not everything that
Brother,
the
you're not
African
Hey,
did.
getting it.
Musa,
Our
you're not
ancestors did
getting it.
not pray with their
Musa,
ass in the air, brother.
Musa, just be
Not everything.
quiet
Our
and listen to
ancestors,
what. Musa,
our
just be
ancestors
quiet.
never
I
prayed with
swear
their ass
down,
in
he
the
ain't
air,
got nothing
brother.
to say. He ain't got no flavor to add to
So
the
let me.
convo.
So
Just be
let me.
quiet,
Yeah, so
literally,
Musa,
and
hold on,
listen to what he's
Musa,
saying.
mute up for a second.
Let me
Hold on,
address
let
it.
me
Let
get
me
20
address it.
seconds, and
But
I'm passing the
Musa,
mic
Pamelato,
to
he's
full
Musa.
always
stop.
gonna say is
Let me get
booty
20 seconds,
and
brother. Let me get
Aisha.
20
He
seconds.
ain't got
All
nothing
right.
else
So
Let,
to
yeah, let, let
say.
me
Pamelato.
get 20
The
seconds. Let me get 20 seconds, and
Ethiopian
I'll pass the mic.
Muhammad, he ain't got nothing to put in. He
All
ain't
right.
got except
Now,
for
I hear you,
booty and
our ancestors, hold on,
9-year-old,
Musa, mute
like
up.
I hear
Because
weird
you,
if
but
you
this
things.
is
if you
He's
go
strange.
a
on
weird
mute,
This is
it's
guy.
gonna be three
And
people
this is
talking.
strange.
like
I
don't
know,
you
but
can't you
but
judge like no,
there's
you're
many
not meant
weird
to
So
people
judge
in
Musa,
the
you gotta
world,
mute
everybody.
up
bro.
so we can have
But
some
listen
decorum.
to the
There's
topics
many
he's
weird people in
talking
the world.
about.
We
He's
can't be running
talking
from weird
about
people.
booty. He's not even talking objecting to
I hear you,
prayer.
bro. But let me
He's not
address it.
objecting
All
to
right,
the
now
prayer.
Musa, let me get my
He's
20 seconds right quick,
talking
and I'll pass you the
Let me
mic.
address it.
and
But
he's
you gotta let me
talking
get my
Hold
point
on,
nine-year-old.
across.
Musa.
The
I'm
Malato.
gonna
guy's
pass you the mic.
weird,
Let me get
bro.
my
Malato,
20
Stop
can I
seconds.
get?
entertaining him. He's a
But
weirdo.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
All right,
Still,
Musa,
He's
there's
let me
many
get my
weird.
weirdos
20
all over
He's
the
seconds.
not
Let me
world.
get
even
my 20
using
seconds,
he's not
Musa.
even using diplomatic
Now, the
language
point is
or
this.
you
I
know
hear
what I
you. I
mean?
hear
He's
you.
a
Still,
weirdo.
so I know, but there's
All right,
many
now Musa,
weirdos
hold
around the
on,
world,
hold
and
on,
this is
Musa.
not
Let me
Proper
get
me.
my 20
weirdo,
seconds
like booty
so you
and
can pass the
9-year-old.
mic to
Blood,
him.
you're weird, fam.
Now, Musa, the point is our
Weird.
ancestors did not pray
And
with their ass in
worshipping
the
your
air.
grandmom. Weird,
Okay,
blood.
Our
Like,
ancestors
bro,
did
so
how
not
you
pray with their ass in the
entertaining this
air.
weirdo?
so wait,
Like,
wait.
I
Why
hear
are
So
him,
you
you,
all praying
and
with
he's
your ass
from
in
Malato.
the
the
air
Rhodes
today?
ex
So
Rhodey, like,
Malato,
yeah,
you
with a bit
finished.
of knowledge. This guy is clearly a
Look,
mad
you can
dude,
tell he's
fam.
triggered because I'm right.
He
He's
is
mad
not,
because I'm right right now. He's hurt.
All
bro.
right.
You're
He's hurt.
weird, bro.
Malato, can
You are weird.
Malato, can I respond to you?
Yeah,
You're
go ahead,
weird, bro.
Musa.
Booty a
Yeah.
9-year-old. Why are you talking nuts for, bro? Like, you're
Yeah.
weird,
Your
bro.
prophet married a 5-year-old. Checkmate.
Bro, if you want to talk about these
Checkmate.
convos, do it in a better way. Don't do it in a way that I know you are
Yeah,
a
so why
troubled
won't you
person in
condemn?
life. I
So why
know you
won't you
ain't got
condemn?
shit straight in life, bro.
All right,
You're
so why won't
troubled.
you? All right,
Like,
why
allow
won't
it,
you
bro. You're a
condemn?
troubled person. And then you want to come talk shit.
Why won't you condemn Muhammad for having sex with a 9-year-old?
Bro, Musa, it's
See, he's
up
not
to
ready
you
for
to...
the pressure.
Hey,
You see, he's not ready for the pressure.
Musa.
He's not ready for the pressure. I'm
It's up
asking a
to you.
simple
When I
question.
mean entertain, it's up
Why
to
you
you to
calling
chat
Musa
to him,
name? Why
innit?
you calling for another man?
I'm
Why are
just
you
waiting
calling
for
for
Callum
another
to do
man?
the after show so
Well,
he at
why
the
are
back,
you calling
like, you
for
get it?
another
So he
man
can
though?
really get me.
Why are you calling
Talk
for
some
another man?
Sufi, you know what I
Can
mean?
I
I don't
can
want
I
to go.
can I
Why
can I
I
won't you
want
can I
to
say
hear
condemn
you say
something?
Muhammad?
something because
You heard the
Can I
this
question.
can I
guy's
say something?
weird, bro. He's onto
Why
I
it,
hear
won't
bro.
you
you. I
Like,
hear
he's
you.
condemn
I've spoken
weird,
to
Muhammad?
him
You heard
before.
the
he's
question.
Listen,
weird, fam.
Pamelato.
He's
Let me say
weird.
something,
No,
but
don't say him. He's
But
weird,
Pamelato, I need you to be quiet so I can address you. Hear what I'm saying
bro.
to you,
He's
Pamelato.
weird, bro.
Brother, I'm
Hey,
already on
Musa,
mute.
I'm
I'm
on.
Pamelato.
Hey,
already on
Yeah.
mute,
Musa.
brother. That's a
Hey,
Connie
Musa, respectfully
crying.
speaking, if you're gonna
Let
entertain
Musa
him, I'll just
talk,
cut
bro.
out, you know.
Please
So
I
let
don't
Musa
mind,
talk.
you know,
let
because
me
Go
let
ahead,
me
Musa.
let
I
me
don't
let me
mind
quickly
watching in
say
the back.
something.
Like, I swear to God, I don't mind just watching out of this room. No. Furthermore, I'll just cut out, bro. You know what I'm
Brother,
saying?
stop.
Because
Yeah,
you
just cut out.
talking
Go
is
ahead, run
gonna
away, brother.
divert the
Stop
convo
crying,
back
brother.
to me,
Just
bro.
run
Hear what I'm
away.
saying to you.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Musa.
I'm
Hear what
running
I'm saying to
away
you.
from you. I don't want to talk to you. You're mad. You're weird. I don't want to. You
Let
won.
me
You
You need to
won
run away from
everything.
Muhammad. Go ahead, Musa.
Pamelato.
My booty's up in the air. 9-year-old, bro. I'm not on it. You're weird, fam.
Yeah,
You are
I
get your
hear what I'm
booty
weird,
out the
saying.
bro.
air, brother.
I'm
What I'm
not
saying to
on
you.
it.
Stop putting your booty in the
I
air.
got you. I
I'm
got
not.
you. But
Yeah,
people's
you won. I'm not on
Yeah,
it. You're weird, blood.
3 minutes
Callum,
thank
Callum, what are you telling me?
Pete, you don't have 3 minutes left before I do shut down the show. 3 minutes left.
Hey, Callum, to the rescue! You won. I'm not on it. Hey, this guy's talking zesty. I'm shook, fam. I'm shook.
All right, and my final words are to the black
Yeah,
Muslim:
God.
stop praying with your ass in the air
Yeah.
and condemn Muhammad for having sex with a
Cool.
9-year-old.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
have some dignity.
Yeah.
And stop twerking for Arabians. Stop booty clapping for Arabians. You praying face down, ass up like a hoe, respectfully. Surrounded by men, and you got a gown on. You got a dress on, and you praying with your ass in the air. It's shameful, respectfully.
Yo. Let's move on. Any more closing last words before we do close on the show?
Peace to the
Those are my
panel,
closing
man.
words. Thanks for having me. Peace, family.
Salute, Pan. Musa, Can. Any last words? Got 2 more minutes
Yeah,
left.
no, you saved me, Callum, man. Blood. There's some weirdos out here. I don't know. I don't know what the future's got for me, but whatever I may do in the future, hopefully, inshallah, it will pop because I've got fans just from this. You know what I'm saying? People atting me and it's a bit weird, but it may be a sign for me that I may have to fulfill something. I don't know what it is, but there's something I have to do in it because I attract people and I can't help it sometimes. You got weirdos like him popping up on the panel all the time when I'm there with two subjects, you know what I mean? Too weird, like not even putting it out in a grown way or a way if you really want to make someone leave something. He's doing it in a way that is like it's either I'm troubled or he's troubled, and it's definitely he's the troubled one. So, but yeah, I think there's a calling for me. I don't know what it is. You get me? Genuinely don't. But yeah, I've got fans out there, man, and I as much as they're annoying, I do genuinely appreciate the love.
All
I
right.
do appreciate it. So big up.
Musa?
Very, very, very interesting. Obviously, Callum, you got very profound information. Sometimes, Callum, it's a bit out there for even me, boy. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna, if you know, for those who are gonna embed themselves in that type of scholarship or alternative historiography, yeah, they will, you know, put themselves through that to acquire that type of information. But for me, sometimes the things I think about and I know in my mind, I might not be able to always best articulate it, but I know that there is some type of principle, I don't know, origin to the things that I put across. I know I just people are at different spaces in their life. I don't know, from wherever you are, wherever city you came from, wherever tribe you came from, wherever your upbringing, your parentage was, is gonna shape the type of adult you're gonna be in. So some ideas are progressive, and some ideas are stagnant. So I just try to go with the ideas that are progressive and lead to some type of result, a positive result, as opposed to an idea that either creates internalized racism, self-hate, or even stagnation. You know what I'm trying to say to you? There's some practices that are completely ridiculous, and there's some practices that are very progressive and profound. I don't know. I just want to see more ideas that help create the type of power that you see the Jews wielding today on the planet, or you see, I don't know, the Roman Catholic Church wielding today on the planet. Whether you dislike them and how they came up, they show a sign of organization and discipline and commitment to a belief that is to be admired. I like things that help a people acquire power. I'm not really too much into the back and forth and the philosophy if it's not leading to how does it take one from A to B and further, I don't know, your one's family or one's descendants. Like if we're just here just to talk, it's just like it has to have there has to be power moves being made. How do we put ourselves, with what we learn, how do we put ourselves in the positions of power and control? How do we reverse what they did to us so that we can now be custodians of enlightenment, knowledge, whatever in it? We need our own Ayatollah, we need our own Catholic bishop or Pope, or why is he not black and at the head of some spiritual system?
All right. Yeah. Okay. Strong words by Musa.
Do I get a response from you, Callum? You got to give me something, you know.
Yeah.
you got to just hit that and cut out.
Try to shut down the show. It's late over here, man. So yeah, family, salute. We'll talk off air, man. Peace and blessings. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.